Okay, we are live. Going to be doing a different kind of stream this time. We're going to be taking a look at the Ryzen AI Max system that I've had for several months now. This is the mini PC from GMK Tech. This is the Evo X2 from Micro Center with the Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 with the Radeon 8060S. We're going to be taking a look primarily at Arknights Endfield. This is probably the biggest game to launch this month in January in terms of how much marketing and hype and how many cycles. A lot of the media that covers video gaming, at least not the traditional media, but kind of like the streamer crowd and that kind of thing. Everybody's been talking about this game. Everybody's been playing this game. This game is quite good. There's a lot to it to unpack and learn how to play the game, but otherwise this is a well-polished game, and it's probably my favorite game that I have played this month, starting off 2026. We may also look later on in the stream, if we have time, we may look at Code Vein 2 briefly, how that game runs on a Strix Halo platform, because that game, we looked at it yesterday on stream on a very high-end workstation, and that game, it runs okay on your standard desktop computer, but we're not interested in how it runs on a standard desktop computer. What I'm trying to see is how these games run on probably the most impressive piece of silicon that I have seen in this part of the decade, and that is the AMD Ryzen AI Max. So we're going to take a look at this game first, then we're going to look at Code Vein 2, and if we have time, we may look at Trails Beyond the Horizon. That is the other big game. So for me personally, there were 3 games for this month. The first one was Trails Beyond the Horizon. That was from Falcom with their own in-game engine. The second game is the game we have on screen right now, Arknights Endfield from Griffline publisher. Very well polished game. And then the third game that was one of my most anticipated games for January was none other than Code Vein 2. And out of all 3 games, Code Vein 2 is probably the most underwhelming of the 3. I didn't have a lot of high expectations for Arknights Endfield. I don't know anything about the Arknights franchise. This is my first look at this franchise, and it is quite impressive. I came away quite impressed, a little overwhelming, a lot of stuff to have to figure out how to do, in particular the factory simulator and that whole aspect of this game that I've never played those type of games in the past. But if you're able to spend the time and learn the system, the mechanics of the game, very, very impressive stuff what they have on offer here. So for a free-to-play, this is my top recommendation. Arknights Endfield, best game I've played in 2026 so far. Now that could change next week, and I am well aware that the Neo 3 demo is now fully playable on Steam as well as PlayStation 5. So we might look at Neo 3. I'm not in a position right now to show you guys Neo 3, so we might save Neo 3 demo or for the weekend live stream, seeing how things go. But for right now, I don't want to completely eclipse and overshadow Code Vein 2 with Neo 3, because that is definitely going to happen a week from now, guaranteed. So I'm going to give Code Vein 2 the benefit of the doubt. We're going to focus on Code Vein 2 again, play through it a little bit more later on this stream, perhaps. But for right now, we're going to take a look at Code Vein, or not Code Vein, we're going to look at Arknights Endfield, how it runs on a mobile platform. This is a mobile platform. This is an AI PC, because all the memory has gone to AI. 70% of the DRAM market is already secured, funding secured for the AI companies. So that means anyone who's looking to buy a PC or build a PC this year, the prices are going to be sky high. The memory prices in particular are through the roof. SSDs are going to go through the roof through April. They're going to just shoot way up. So if you haven't upgraded yet, oh man, you better upgrade soon, because there's going to be a big problem that's facing the rest of this year. Now, some of this might change at the end of this year. I'm being told that there may be some DRAM suppliers besides the big three that start flooding the market with low-end DDR5. So we're talking like DDR5 4800, maybe DDR5 5600. That's kind of what I'm hearing. So that might show up around the holiday season of this year, which is perfect for the launch of AMD's Zen 6 CPU, as well as Intel's return to the desktop market with the Lunar Lake CPUs. So that being said, speaking of CPUs, there were some new CPUs that they're launching this week. There is the Ryzen 7 9850X3D. You guys who watch my content normally, you guys know that I'm not going to get one of those. I'm not super interested in it. It is basically a golden sample, well-binned 9800X3D. That is essentially what it is. So you're going to pay $50 more for essentially a factory binned, overclocked, out of the box 9800X3D, renamed 9850X3D. So that is something to look at, but we're probably not going to cover that because I'm not super interested in that. What I am interested in is Zen 6, Lunar Lake, which are both coming at the end of the year. So hopefully Nanya or whoever, or Kioxia, whoever can produce DRAM, or the Chinese company that can make DRAM, they're going to have to save the world, because DRAM is a huge problem right now. When memory costs more money than the CPU and the motherboard, in some cases memory can cost more money than the CPU and the motherboard combined. Now you have a serious supply problem, where the demand is just way too high. But anyway, that's it for the hardware discussion. We will be taking a look at the mobile CPUs as they come out. I am interested to see a socketable Zen 5 based Gorgon point. I'm really waiting for one of those, because that is something that I will actually play around with, whereas the 9850X3 doesn't really interest me. So that, for me, I'm going to skip that, because I already have enough X3D CPUs until Zen 6. So what we have here is Arknights Endfield, and it looks like now the overlay is showing on the screen, so you guys can see we're playing this game. Now, the game, a little bit about this game. Arknights Endfield, developed and published by Griffline. I forgot who the name of the developer is. Maybe Griffline is the developer. But essentially, this game is made using a game engine known as Unity. This game is made using Unity. And the reason why they went with Unity is because Unity is very good at scaling all the way down to a mobile platform like a smartphone or a tablet, and scaling all the way up to a high-end desktop PC. It can also be adapted to the consoles. For example, this game is available on the PlayStation 5. So this is a multi-cross-save progression-based game. You can play this game on PlayStation 5. You can play it on PS5 Pro. You can also log in on your smartphone and pick up from where you left off from the PlayStation on your smartphone. And then you can log into the game on the high-end desktop and play it on a Threadripper system or a Ryzen or Intel or whatever. So it has a lot of flexibility being on Unity compared to some other homegrown engine which might be more restrictive in terms of the scalability, or a game engine like Unreal, which historically doesn't have a very good track record with performance on lower spec hardware. Typically, if a game is going to come out on Unreal Engine 5, it needs to run on incredibly high-end spec hardware to get the best experience. That being said, we will look at an Unreal Engine 5 game later on this stream. We'll be taking a look at Code Vein 2. Code Vein 2 is a game that is coming out today, and it is using Unreal Engine 5. So this game uses Unity, that game uses Unreal Engine 5. We're going to look at how those games compare and perform on a mini, like mobile-based platform using integrated graphics. This is going to be on a integrated graphics. Yes, we are running this game with a 4K output on integrated graphics. Now, the people watching it on YouTube are going to see this as a 1440p stream. That is because I am taking the 4K game and I am downscaling it for bandwidth saving reasons and then streaming that out to the internet. So the viewers are seeing it as a 1440p stream if you're watching it at the source footage. But I am actually playing the game at the 4K resolution. Now internally, we're rendering the game at a resolution that is close to 1440p. Then the game provides an upscale to 4K for my monitor, so I'm actually seeing it at 4K resolution. Quite impressive stuff. The other thing too is this game defaults to the Vulkan API, which means that the secret sauce as to why this game runs so well is because it is leveraging Vulkan on the back end. If this game is running on DirectX, it will have worse performance overall. Now, the developers have a DirectX 11 fallback, also known as a compatibility mode, that you can run this game in if you're on Windows, and also if you are having issues with the game running. Typically what that means is that you have a very old computer. You have an old graphics card that cannot handle the latest Vulkan API. In those scenarios, you would want to run it in DirectX 11 for backwards compatibility. But for those of us on modern platforms, we will get the best experience, which is going to be on Vulkan. So to answer the question, test DX11, we are not going to test this on DirectX 11. There is no reason to test this on DirectX 11 if you have a modern system. Vulkan will give you the best experience. These are the official words, recommendations from the developers. So I am not going to deviate from their instructions. So let's go ahead and look at how this game runs. Now, I am running this on a integrated graphics system, which is crazy. This is crazy. Like if we alt tab, it goes into a low power mode. So I can see the FPS dips down when I get out of the game to save on power because we are on a mobile device. If we bring up let's bring up Task Manager here. Task Manager is up. Let's move this over here. So you guys can see we are running this on a AMD Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 with Radeon 8060S integrated graphics. And the game uses a ton of CPU. Very CPU heavy game, especially in the area where we are. We are currently in the most NPC dense area in the game environment. Now, this system has 128 gigabytes of system RAM running at 8,000 mega transfers. This is very fast memory, 128 gigs. That eliminates all the memory bottlenecks. We can brute force it through with so much memory. Right now I'm using about 21.2 gigabytes of system RAM. Now, this system is a unified architecture, which means this mini PC is similar to a gaming console like a PS5 or a PS5 Pro or an Xbox Series X. That means that the memory available to the system can be divided between the CPU and the GPU as needed. In this scenario, I have told the system to give the graphics chip 64 gigabytes of the unified memory. That means this computer has 64 gigabytes of video memory. That means the amount of VRAM that we have devoted to the game, to the graphics chip for the game, is equal to 2 RTX 5090s. because one 5090 has 32 gigabytes of VRAM. We are doing 64 gigabytes of VRAM, double the amount of memory available. And you can see that we're using about 8.3 gigs of VRAM for this game. And that is how much is allocated to the operating system right now for the GPU. Not all of that is going to the game, but most of it is going to the game. The game is using about 6 gigabytes of that number, roughly speaking, and we'll show that in game shortly. This being a Ryzen AI PC, it has the NPU for AI, because you got to talk about AI these days. If you're in technology, if you're not talking about AI, nobody wants to talk to you. Like, no one's going to hire you. So look, video codec engine. We are also using the video codec engine in the GPU to encode this live stream, dual encoding. I'm doing a dual encode right now. One is going to the internet. That is a 1440p H.265 HEVC encoded video. The second one is a native 4K 60 using AV1 for a local recording to my second SSD. So this platform has dual SSDs at PCI Gen 4 X4. So you can see them here. We've got the C drive, which is a Phison 2 terabyte, and the D drive, which is a Crucial P310 from Micron. So, alright, we've gone through the specs. Everyone likes when I do these specs, the spec overview. So we have the full picture now. Now let's go back in the game. And immediately, we're using about 84 watts, 85 watts total for the entire APU. That is a combination of CPU and GPU together. That is why there's only one power number and not two power numbers. It's because the 84 watts is CPU plus GPU. So very, very efficient. This is the closest you'll ever get being on a Windows platform where you feel like you're on a Mac-based system. It is so slick. It is so fast. The UI, navigating through Windows, it's so fast because we have 128 gigs of memory at 8,000 megatransfers. Neo 3 demo. Yeah, it's out now. It's out now. I talked about that earlier. We're not going to show that on this stream. I will probably stream the demo this weekend. But right now, we're going to look at how Unity and UE5 run on a Strix Halo mini PC. But yeah, I'll be looking at Neo 3. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of Neo 3 live streams on this channel. So I don't want to burn myself out when it comes to Neo 3. But yeah, we'll be playing Neo 3. You guys can group up with me. We can go through Expedition mode. We can play the entire game as a group of 3 people. If you guys want to do that, I'm totally willing to do that. But right now, this game, man, this game is being played on a Strix Halo Ryzen AI Max, and it looks fantastic and it runs great, considering the spec hardware that we've got. Even your X2 Extreme can run it quite well. 395. So 395 is surprisingly good, man. For 4K, like, okay, this is not true 4K. I'm playing the game at 1440p, upscale to 4K. But my goodness, the fact that we're at Vulkan is so good. I am so glad that this developer knows how to make games. This is a well-optimized game. It is an incredibly stable game, and it leverages. They're getting a lot of mileage out of Unity. This is an incredibly looking game for a Unity game. This is not Unreal Engine. This is Unity. Thank God this is not an Unreal Engine game. And also, they used Vulkan as the default API. That means that technically these guys could potentially one day make this game run on Linux natively with native support for Linux because it's using Vulkan as the default. You wouldn't have known it's Unity? These guys know what they're doing, man. There's something about, like, the game's graphics. I don't know. I was looking at this game, and we're going to look at Code Vein 2 on Strix Halo later in the stream. Code Vein 2 is like the complete opposite of this game. This game is a Unity game with a ton of dense NPC activity, lots of stuff on screen, lots of, like, cloth-based physics moving around. Like, it's kind of rudimentary type physics, but the fact that everything just looks so good and so fluid, and the game runs silky smooth. It has a 120 FPS mode if you're on the console. The game on PC, we are actually playing the game at a 120 FPS mode, but you guys can see that with 4K resolution, the Strix Halo obviously cannot handle 4K. I mean, come on now, the Radeon 8060S is not a 4K integrated GPU, but the fact that we're able to push like 76, 75 FPS leveraging Vulkan, man. Vulkan is the magic thing here, because if you have an older graphics card, the fallback is going to be DirectX 11 for Windows. Yeah, Fake Frames is saying, hey, you're saying it runs a lot better than Code Vein 2. Yeah, Code Vein 2. Speaking of Code Vein 2, Code Vein 2 is the complete opposite of this, because this is Unity with leveraging Vulkan. Code Vein 2 is Unreal Engine 5, which I think it's DX12. It's either DX12 or it's probably DX12, but it's between DX12 and DX11. I don't know which one. I assume DX12, but Code Vein 2, man, is hard to run. Code Vein 2 is so hard to run if you're on like limited spec hardware on desktop. So we're gonna look at how Code Vein 2 runs later on, but Unreal Engine 5, man, is not, that game does not have the best reputation. And I'm in arguably the best place in the game to test CPU bottlenecks, because we are in the big city, and this is a nice city. I was going through this city yesterday off stream, and I was like, yeah, man, if this is the sort of thing that Chinese developers are capable of doing, there's that one you guys know about the anime GTA Ananta? This is like a sneak peek of Ananta, because Ananta is going to be a lot like this in terms of dense environments with lots of NPCs on screen. Lots of stuff going on. Like, okay, let's do this. Let's go on this thing. Speed. It just flows. It just moves. Like, this is the best game I've played this month. I was so disappointed with Code Vein 2 yesterday. Not gonna lie. That was one of my most hyped games. This was one of my least hyped games. The only reason why I decided to play this is because people kept bothering me and asking me to play it. What do you think of Arknights? Are you gonna play Arknights? Dude, are you gonna... So many people were DMing me, are you gonna play Arknights? Are you gonna play... Please play Arknights. I want your opinion. I want to see how it runs on like all those computers. And I'm like, oh man, really? We're gonna go play another gacha game? So I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. This game is good. I'm actually glad I decided to play this game. As someone who doesn't want to play a ton of gacha games, like, remember guys, I told you Genshin and Star Rail are like the only two that I'll play. I'm not gonna bother with gacha games. Then I picked this up and I'm like, yeah, this game's good, man. This game's good. What are your thoughts on the new Panther leg APU? It has good power efficiency for handhelds, but it's so expensive that it's priced like... Yeah, it's kind of like Strix Halo. I see it as a similar product to Strix Halo. I don't know if Intel plans to manufacture a lot of them, but again, I don't think AMD ever planned to manufacture a lot of Strix Halo chips, because they're expensive to make. The problem, so Intel is interesting, because AMD has to prioritize what they're going to manufacture, because they have to buy their wafers from TSMC. Now, until recently, Intel didn't have to do that. Obviously, Intel now has to purchase wafers from TSMC for certain products. Most of their consumer products now are TSMC based. But for their servers, a lot of Intel servers are still manufactured using Intel's own fabs. So that does help them stay somewhat profitable and vertically integrated, so they can keep their margins. Because the biggest problem that Intel's running into is margins, and the bean counters in the company are not happy with having to go and leverage TSMC. Like, why do you need to, like, think about it. If I was a business executive at Intel, or if I was on the board of directors at Intel, the first question I'd be asking the CEO is if we make wafers, why are we having to buy wafers from our competitor? Why are we doing that? Are we incompetent? Are we stupid? Do we have the wrong engineers? Do we need to completely fire all the engineers and hire new ones? Do we need to poach people from TSMC and offer them like double salary or whatever? Like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make that problem go away? You're like, that's what I'd be asking. Those are the sort of questions that I'd be asking if I was someone at Intel right now, at one of those decision-making levels. You know what I'm saying? So, Intel can traditionally manufacture a lot of cool stuff like Panther Lake. But now, because they have to go to their competitor, they're kind of kneecapped in a way, because they can't scale to the same numbers as easily at the lower cost. Like the COGS, the cost of goods and services produced, that dollar amount has gone up for them over the last several years, where it's really, really hurt them. And that's the reason why Intel's been struggling. But yeah, what do I think of Panther Lake? I think Panther Lake is really, really good. I think Intel has never had a problem with their chip design. They've never had a problem with their chip design. You look at their innovation with big core, little core. Yeah, it's a little controversial. Not everybody likes E-cores. But Intel saw it as a way of trying to find a workaround to the ever-increasing power requirements to make chips get more performance. So whether you agree with the whole big core, little core, and now little core plus or whatever, little core minus, like the little core, like the LPE core, whatever they call it, low power core. So they got another one now. So whether you agree with that or you dislike it or you like it, that's not going away from Intel's standpoint. Like, they're gonna keep doing big core, little core, performance core, E-core, and another E-core, and maybe another performance core. So it's like, that's not going away. And that's fine. It can work. They can make it work. Their thread director is mostly trouble-free. There are certain games and applications that do not like the heterogeneous core system. So there is that. That's been kind of a problem for them, and that's why a lot of their commercial customers don't like E-cores. And this is the reason why E-cores didn't work out, or like heterogeneous CPUs in data center did not work, because they just mess up applications that are hosted in the cloud. So that's the reason why Intel still does P-cores only for certain Xeon SKUs, and then they do E-cores only on other Xeon SKUs. So there's stuff like that. But I do think that it's a pretty good product. Like, Intel's chip design's never been bad, is what I'm saying. But the problem is the fabs. Intel's fabs have not been able to keep up with where the technology and innovation curve has been moving at the pace that it's been moving. Now it's been slowing down because you shrink the nodes again and again and again, and now you're at a point where you can't keep shrinking the nodes, so you gotta force power up through the roof. And that's why GPUs use so much electricity now. That's why you have 600 watt TDP 5090s, for example, and things like that. And that that is not sustainable. I was talking to somebody else about this earlier this week. We were talking about AI. We were talking about how the chips, and we might talk about this on Tech Thursdays tomorrow, but they're saying that Vera Rubin, so the successor to the Blackwell GPU, so we're basically talking about RTX 60 series for next year. The top end SKUs for the AI data centers, right now, I think it's like an NVIDIA 72 is like it's like 100, it's like 120 to 130 kilowatts of power, or somewhere around that. I forget the exact number. Like, we'll just say like 125 kilowatts for the NVL 72 from NVIDIA. They're saying the Vera Rubin The successor is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 350 kilowatts. 350 kilowatts. That's more than double. That's more than double the power consumption of the Blackwell. So what that means is that the consumer GPU, the RTX 6090, is definitely at minimum going to be a 600 watt TDP GPU. Meaning Nvidia's not going to release a new GPU next year, 6090, that is going to be more energy efficient than the existing 5090. It's just going to be another 600 watt TDP, because they can't go above 600 watts because obviously the connector is going to melt if you run it above 600 watts on an everyday basis. So that's a no-go. And yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, because without blasting enormous amounts of electricity through the chip, I don't know how they're going to get these massive performance leaps that everybody's expecting. Especially since the time between chip generations is slowly stretching. Arrow Lake had a bad design in terms of performance out of the box. See, I don't think Arrow Lake has a bad design. I think Arrow Lake is really kind of like their first generation of chiplets. So can you really say it's a bad design if it's their first round of chiplets? There's nothing to compare it to in terms of Intel's chiplet history. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the reference point here? Comparing a chiplet to a monolithic is comparing apples and oranges. That's like not a valid comparison. It's only a valid comparison from a generational thing. But if you're comparing an architectural thing, there is nothing to compare Arrow Lake to. I guess Meteor Lake, the mobile thing, was like the first thing they did. But Arrow Lake was basically desktop Meteor Lake. They use E-cores because their chips would pull even more power. And well, again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about with Moore's Law slowing down almost to a crawl, now you have to blast electricity through the chip to maintain those performance uplifts. And even then, your performance uplifts are starting to narrow in terms of how much performance you're able to squeeze out with each generation. Intel's now facing the exact same problem AMD did when Ryzen came out. Well, not really. Like, Zen 1 was a monolithic chip. Zen 2 was the first chiplet that AMD did. Oh, both of them are going to go with big cache. Everyone's going to have big cache. So all this talk about 9850X3D, 9850X3D is only for people who don't already have a modern platform. Anyone who's on like Zen 4 or Zen 5, just completely skip 9850X3D. There's like no reason. I told someone the other day, 9850X3D is basically a KS 9800X3D. You guys know what I mean when I say that? 14900K, 14900KS. 9800X3D, 9800X3D KS. 9800X3D KS equals 9850X3D. That's all it is. It is literally a better binned golden sample X3D chip. That's all it is. The reason why it's coming out now is the exact same reason why the KS comes out way after the non-KS. It's because it takes AMD a while to stockpile these golden sample chips. And then they have enough quantity of them that they can resell them, they can package them up and call it a new thing, even though it's basically the same chip. You know what I'm saying? There's physically nothing different about them. They have the same amount of cache, they have the same amount of cores. The only difference is the boost clock speed is 400 megahertz higher because these are golden sample silicon. So the only people in my mind that this would appeal to, besides people that don't already have a modern system, are overclocking enthusiasts. People that want to play around with either delitting one of these or drop this thing on LN2 or dry ice or or try to break some world record or whatever. Those are the sort of people that will have a lot of fun with the 9850X 3D. Like, that is who that's for. It is truly for enthusiasts. The same exact sort of people that the KS is meant for. That's all it is. So, because I had a bunch of people ask me last week, are you gonna review the 9850X 3D? No, I'm not. I mean, okay, I will review it if AMD is gonna send me a sample, but I'm not gonna go and buy one. I'm not gonna buy a $500 CPU in a market where DRAM. Now, thank God I don't have to buy any DRAM right now, but nah, I'm not gonna. To me, it's a pass. I'm waiting for Zen 6 and Lunar Lake. The only thing that matters to me at this point, okay, there's one exception. I want to see Strix Point or Gorgon Point on a socketable AM5 form factor. If AMD does that, if AMD releases an HX370 or an HX470 tomorrow, I will go to Micro Center and spend my own money to buy that mobile chip, and I will throw it in my Crosshair Hero motherboard. I will side grade from my Zen 5 desktop CPU to a Gorgon Point APU for my enthusiast class Asus X870E Crosshair Hero motherboard. I will literally do that tomorrow. So if AMD wants to get me to spend money on one of their CPUs now in a DRAM drought, that is the type of CPU that I want. I don't want a golden sample whatever X3D. No, I'm tired of X3D. Everybody knows X3D is the best CPU for gaming. Like, no one is going to like argue against that. But I want to play around with the more interesting things that people don't normally pay attention to, like the APUs. Like, how do those things run? Because personally, I am way more impressed with the mobile CPUs from AMD and Intel than I am with the desktop SKUs. The desktop CPUs are really, really good for gaming, but the mobile CPUs, they're so much more efficient. They have surprisingly good performance. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We're playing this game at 4K on integrated graphics on a mobile chip, and we're doing 76 FPS with Vulkan API, and we're pulling like 85 watts max for the entire APU. That is that number you guys see on screen, that 85, 84 watts, that is CPU plus GPU combined. That is the total wattage. That is not just GPU wattage. That is also the CPU wattage. That's why there's only one number, because Afterburner only gives me the total number. It doesn't give me separate numbers. So that is incredible. So this is my second favorite. My actual favorite chip as an enthusiast is actually Strix Point. Strix Point is my favorite chip overall. Second favorite is Strix Halo. Strix Halo is fantastic, but Strix Halo is terribly expensive. But it is fantastic. There's no denying that. But Strix Point is so energy efficient. Like, you can literally play this game on a laptop running on battery, and you're only going to lose like 18, at worst 20% performance by running on battery instead of plugging it into the wall. That is significantly better than like normal laptops, like traditional laptops, where you unplug and you try to run a game on battery. You lose like 40 to 60% of your performance, if not slightly more in some worst case scenarios. Wait, what's all this discussion? Oh, there's some discussion about some other stuff. I wasn't paying attention. 38 gigabytes of GDDR7 would require 608-bit bus. Am I gonna try Panther Lake? So I don't see any of them available right now. I might get one if Micro Center gets them. You're talking about a mini PC, Panther Lake, right? Because I ain't buying no laptops. Because memory right now. But Panther Lake on a mini PC, maybe. That would be interesting to look at. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I don't know what the PS6 is gonna be, but I feel like the PS6 Strix Halo is like a souped up. Well, no, PS6 might be quite interesting because it's gonna be a unified. I assume it's gonna be a unified architecture like this. Strix Halo is already faster than Panther Lake at higher wattage, anyway. Yeah. Well, is it? I mean, how much though? If I had to guess, I would say absolute performance. Strix Halo is going to win, but Panther Lake is still very impressive. It's not like Panther Lake is bad. It's just Panther Lake. The priorities are different. The Panther Lake. Panther Lake is going for like energy efficiency. It's kind of like Lunar Lake. It's like Lunar Lake on steroids. Strix Halo is completely different. Strix Halo is like AMD's like, hey, Apple is using ARM, and Apple has all this performance. Let's make something that has a unified architecture, general purpose compute, and can rival Apple in that space in terms of the performance offered. Now, Apple's still going to be more energy efficient because it's ARM under the hood for the architecture, but the fact that Strix Halo is very similar in a lot of creative apps to Apple is, while also being x86, is very, very good. That's why this is probably one of the best platforms I've ever seen to come out this decade. Like, this was the most impressive x86 chip that I've ever seen in a long time. The last time I was this impressed was probably I don't know. I did like Intel's 12th gen when it launched. It did have a lot of BIOS bugs though, and like anti-cheat. Didn't like big core, little core, but I did like the idea when Intel first introduced big core, little core back in 2021 alongside DDR5, and DDR5 cost an arm and a leg back then, and now we've come full circle and DDR5 is now an arm and a leg again. It's an arm and a leg and wisdom teeth. Soon it'll probably be an arm and a leg and wisdom teeth and a kidney. But I think NVIDIA is going to be the next one that's going to try to introduce an ARM-based CPU to the world. I don't know if NVIDIA cares to go into the consumer market with large amounts of volume, though. That's the thing. Because NVIDIA, at the end of the day, NVIDIA and AMD both have to prioritize, like, what is going to... Like, they have to figure out their wafer ratio. And most of it now is going to enterprise and AI. So consumers... AMD still does a lot of consumer-based CPUs. And AMD has a lot of CPUs that a lot of people don't even know about. Like, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I don't know if I should even be saying this, but AMD CPUs. AMD has an entire line of CPUs that the public never even gets to see. These are called embedded CPUs. These CPUs go in typical industrial applications or network equipment. And here's the crazy thing. A lot of people don't know this. I don't even know if I should say this. There's only like 16 people watching. So, AMD actually makes CPUs that go inside NVIDIA's network switches for NVIDIA's AI pods. A lot of people don't know this. Meaning, the NVIDIA network switch that is supposed to be used essentially as an SLI bridge the CPU inside that network switch, that SLI or NVLink bridge, that is an AMD CPU. It's an AMD EPYC-based CPU. I think it's like Zen 1 or Zen 2. Or maybe even Zen Plus. It's kind of an old AMD CPU. So NVIDIA and AMD are actually kind of like partners in crime. And a lot of the public don't know this. It's hilarious because everyone's like, oh, Team Red versus Team Green. But behind the scenes, they're like shaking hands, you know, like in a meeting room or whatever. It's like, yeah. So basically, whenever somebody buys an NVIDIA AI factory or a NVIDIA AI pod or whatever, they're also buying AMD CPUs behind the scenes without either whether they know it or not. So this is the reason why the Ryzen or EPYC plus GeForce has been probably the most dominant hardware combination for the last 6 or 7 years now. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you guys look at how there's all those news reports, those analysts talking about how Intel keeps receding their market share in the data center and AMD keeps gaining market share in data center. A lot of times these numbers don't take into account the network equipment that goes into the data center beyond just the server. A lot of servers still have Intel Xeon CPUs in them, but more and more of these newer next-gen servers have AMD EPYC CPUs in them. The network switches are the other thing that no one really talks about. Network switches typically, if they have an x86 CPU, they normally have an Intel CPU in them. But now a lot of them, especially if they're NVIDIA ones, they all have AMD CPUs in them. That's crazy! You know, like NVIDIA, AMD is traditionally, like the public looks at AMD as NVIDIA's rival in the GPU space, but they're actually on the same team. So hence all those conspiracy videos from like Gamers Nexus recently about how the whole AI money circle is like a self-regression or a recursive loop that just keeps calling itself over and over and over again. It's actually kind of true in other ways that Steve didn't even mention. But that's a really, really deep rabbit hole to go into, which we're probably not going to go any further. I think I've said enough on that subject. 32 bits per module and 3 gigabyte is the max capacity modules, and since 38 doesn't divide evenly. Well, I think the next generation flagship GPUs will be 32 gigabyte GPUs. The RTX 6090 will be a 32 gigabyte GPU, and the AMD flagship will most likely also be a 32 gigabyte GPU. So, and the AMD one's supposed to be first. Keep that in mind. It's AMD's turn to release a new next generation of GPUs, not NVIDIA. NVIDIA doesn't need to be the next in line. It's AMD's turn. We've talked about this on a couple of Tech Thursdays episodes now. Currently, AMD's flagship is still the, what is it? I gotta think about this. 3+ year old 7900 XTX. The 7900 XTX is still AMD's official flagship GPU. A lot of people are gonna be like, well, what about the 9070 XT? The 9070 XT is a successor to the 7800 and the 7700 XT. Technically 7800 XT. In terms of the silicon size, the chip size, the memory amount, all those things, it is a successor to a mid-range GPU. It is not an enthusiast class GPU. So a lot of people seem to misunderstand that. They're like, well, why are you ignoring the 9070 XT? I'm not ignoring the 9070 XT. The 9070 XT is a mid-range GPU, a current generation GPU. AMD has not introduced a successor to their flagship 7900 XTX. So the next flagship AMD GPU will be the successor to that GPU. And I expect as a enthusiast of computer hardware, I expect the new AMD flagship to have around 32 gigabytes of VRAM. If it doesn't have that amount, then I'm going to be disappointed. And I think most people would agree. It needs to have 32 gigs of VRAM. 24 gigs of VRAM is the current flagship amount, which is still a very good amount for most games. But these GPUs, these 5090, 4090 class GPUs, are meant for 4K gaming. That is what NVIDIA's engineering team designed those GPUs for. Like, that is the target resolution for the render engine on those chips. So a lot of people are oversizing, meaning they're running like 1440p monitors with 5090s, which they can totally do that. I mean, I'll never do that, but I mean, that's something that a lot of people that buy 5090s will do. That way, I mean, the one benefit of doing that is when you oversize, you don't have to upgrade every generation or every other generation, because you're basically, what is it? You're oversizing your GPU for your monitor resolution. So that's what I mean by oversized. But yeah, that is a 4K GPU, the 5090. What is going on? 38 gigabytes of VRAM is not possible. 4 gig density. 384-bit bus would require. Wait, what are we talking about? What is this thing about 38 gigabytes? The next generation of GPUs should have 32 gigabytes, not 38 gigabytes. Are we talking about some hypothetical stuff, or like, what is this? The next generation is 32 gigabytes, not 38 gigabytes. Anything that's going to have 38 gigabytes is not going to be a consumer GPU, first of all. It's going to be a professional GPU with an incredibly expensive price point. Doesn't NVIDIA already have GPUs with like 40... NVIDIA already has GPUs with 48 gigs. Those are all professional workstation GPUs. AMD has a 48 gigabyte GPU as well. The W7900... Yeah, the W7900 is a 48 gigabyte GPU. Yeah, no, there's no consumer card that's gonna have... Who's saying there's gonna be 38 gigabytes on a consumer card? Everybody knows that the next consumer card, the 6090, is going to be a 32 gigabyte Okay, I don't know if everybody... Okay, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything more. I should not even talked about the network switches. I've already revealed like too much info, but whatever. This channel is really small, so it doesn't really matter. This ain't a big hardware channel, so it's like no one's going to remember this after this week. All I'm saying is 32 gigs is the number. RTX Pro 6000 is a... Yeah, and that's a professional GPU. That's not meant for regular consumers. Those guys are talking about the next GeForce. RTX Pro is not a GeForce product. When I'm saying 32, I'm talking about GeForce. It's not an overclocked 5090. No, it's a full die. The RTX 5090 is a cut down. The RTX Pro is a full. So it's not the same. It's not an overclocked 5090. It is a full 50. It is a full Blackwell die. Where am I going? This game is kind of a sneak peek to Ananta. Ananta is going to look a lot like this in terms of the cityscape and the amount of NPC density. Okay, there's supposed to be like a hidden thing somewhere. There's like a third one of these. They are leveraging AI. There's a very good interview or like a podcast format discussion between two guys talking about the gaming industry. It is probably the best thing that I have heard in recent history about how the video game industry is changing. It is definitely changing. The American studios, game studios, are declining. They are very much declining. And this is a guy who I think he's either like a director level or definitely managerial or director level, senior level management, we'll call it, for game publishing and game development companies. He's been developing games since the 90s, basically since the original PlayStation. And he talked about how American studios are declining. Like, they're just declining all over the place. There's a difference between indie and big studios. Big studios continue to survive just because they just have so much mass that they can kind of weather the storm, but like, there's a problem, man. Like, there's a huge problem with the game industry right now that no one's really talking about. Recently, because of the memory shortage and the comments by Microsoft CEO and Amazon or Jeff Bezos talking about how he wants gamers to rent, like, to be his tenants and rent from Amazon Web Services for compute to play their games. They don't need to spend money on a gaming PC. They don't need to build a computer. Like, no, who wants to do that? He's like, no one needs to be doing that in the 21st century. That is a 20th century thing to be doing. So it's like, what are you doing if you're building your own computer? You're completely living your life wrong. You're like, essentially, that's sort of stuff that he was saying. And he wants you to be a tenant. He wants you to rent. He wants gamers to rent from Amazon their game time and their compute resources. And the fear of this, you will own nothing and you will be happy, becoming a reality. You couple that with the fact that DRAM is so expensive now, and it's still going to get more expensive, and SSD pricing is going up. There have been several price increase announcements behind the scenes that the public hasn't even been privy to. Basically, manufacturers of OEM systems are privy to all of this, and it's not looking pretty. But the point of me saying all of this is that this is also driving more of that fear that you will own nothing and you will be happy is being accelerated. Cloud-based gaming is being accelerated. NVIDIA is out there actively talking to developers that are either very experienced or less experienced, and it's like, hey guys, why don't you make your game be cloud-based? Just make it streamable through GeForce Now. Like, you don't even need to make a game that like has an on-prem client system that requires the user to install all these files and host the game locally. And if it's a multiplayer game, they still have to have the client side. It's like, why do you need to do that? Like, that's just going to give you bad reviews on Steam because everyone's going to claim that your game is poorly optimized. Like, why don't you just make your game a cloud game? Then no one can complain about poor optimization because there's no such thing anymore. Like, it just runs from the cloud. It's going to be the user's fault because they have lousy internet. You know, like, that's kind of the narrative that's being tossed around in the industry right now. And basically the fear is that at a certain point, compute in the cloud and internet speeds will be fast enough and low latency and powerful enough to the point where you don't need to have a client-based setup where the computer locally runs a lot of the game resources, essentially eliminating the need for a graphics card in the computer altogether, because the graphics card will be on the server side. So think of it like an MMO. Think of it like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is mostly a cloud-based game because you're connecting to a server. All of your inputs and how they're being translated when other players see you in the game world moving around. Same thing with Call of Duty or any multiplayer game. They're very heavily server-based games. So now, why do we need to have the user's client do a lot of heavy lifting with their PC locally to render the game environment. Why can't we just do that on the server side, transmit the frame down the internet pipe to the user's monitor or to the user's computer, output that on their monitor screen, and there they go, they're playing their game via cloud streaming. You know, like, this is a real thing. There's a lot of conversations happening in the game world around this. Now, the internet infrastructure is the bottleneck. That is like the biggest bottleneck that is going to prevent that from really taking off. But once that problem is solved, then what? You know, because the same thing, you guys remember how Netflix started out. Netflix started with people renting out like DVDs in the mail. Like, they would literally mail a DVD to the person who wanted to watch that movie or that season of whatever show or whatever. They would mail it to them in the mail. Like, they would get a physical DVD and then later Blu-ray, and then they were just like, that's it. That's how it worked. Then they want the new one. They would send that one back to Netflix, and then Netflix would send the next one. So they queue them up. That's how their business model began. It was physical-based video, media, consumption. And then obviously cloud streaming replaced that. So there's no reason why gaming can't go the same way. That's what a lot of these technologists are saying. Now obviously you're going to need more bandwidth, you're going to need lower latency, so there's all these other aspects to it that will have to basically scale up in capability to be able to handle the requirements being all server-based. But there's let me put it this way, there's a lot of engineering resources and manpower being pushed at this problem to solve that problem. It's only a matter of how many years it will take to solve that problem, and a lot of it is an infrastructure problem or an infrastructure solution. I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway, they want everything to be subscription based. Yeah, they would prefer everything be subscription. Oh yeah, we were talking about the cloud. Yeah. So the other thing too is everyone's talking about how like this AI boom is a scam and how it's gonna like be like crypto and it's gonna die off. Well, it's not gonna die off the same way Ethereum and all those alternate cryptocurrencies sort of died off when Ethereum went proof of stake in 2022. I mean, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is, over time, companies are going to leverage AI for their business operations. I mean, it's going to be a slow burn, but it's one of those things that is eventually going to happen. But in the event that the adoption rate is slower than expected, what they'll try to do is they're going to look and see if they can repurpose some of these compute systems for cloud-based gaming. Because these Blackwell GPUs in the cloud, in these AI factories, are no joke. These things are like, I don't even know how many 5090s one of these chips is equal to. They've got like, what, 228 gigabytes of HBM memory or something per chip or some ridiculous number? That's a lot of VRAM on one GPU. So imagine how many games you could host on that one GPU, you know, in terms of like how much rendering power you have. You're certainly not VRAM limited. So that's one of those things where the gaming landscape has a lot of change that's going to happen in the next 10 years. There's the whole cloud thing, that's one thing. But then there's all the developers, like, oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. The Western developers, particularly like North American-based game companies, are really struggling. Like, they need to really find themselves, because this guy was talking about, I might link this in the description of this video after the stream, that video that I'm talking about, because I really think it's a really good, fascinating thing to listen to if you're interested in the game industry and how it's playing out. There was a lot of talk of China. There was a lot of discussion at the beginning of that podcast about Chinese developers. And as they were talking about the Chinese developers, I immediately thought about this game. Because the guy was saying how the Western developers feel entitled, They expect these high salaries. That is something that does not happen in the East. So like the Chinese developers, Japanese developers, they're typically working for a lot less. And when you look at the final product, can these, we'll call them senior studios, game studios, really call themselves that accomplished if their game like fails financially or commercially versus these Chinese studios, which are lesser known, don't have a huge track record of a bunch of games under their belt, yet all of a sudden like they're commercially successful and everybody thinks highly of their games, regardless of the fact that most of their games are gacha games. The thing is, regardless of what your opinion is on a gacha game, I know a high quality game when I see it. And this is a high quality game. Like this game, I have not experienced a single crash on any of the platforms that I've tested it on. It scales so well on a mobile platform. We're literally playing the game on a mobile-based platform right now. Now, granted, Strix Halo is pretty good. Might even be a little bit overkill for this game, but this game runs really well on a variety of hardware. The reviews are they're overwhelmingly positive. No one's really complaining. In terms of performance, it runs really good. In terms of the polish, there was this phrase that they kept using in that podcast called polish. Like, how polished is the game? It's the little things. Like, there was talk about how the Chinese developers are leveraging AI way faster and way more in-depth than the Western studios. You see that with the NPC behavior. Oh, I should not have looted that. I should have let my little NPC helpers loot that for me, because it's all automated. So, I mean, there's stuff like that, you know. I don't know if you guys ever tried a game that came out last year called Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet literally has, like, deep-seek chat bots that, like, exist inside the game. So you can literally talk to NPCs in that game the same way you can with ChatGPT. In a game. Like, in a video game. They already have, like, all that stuff in their game. So it's like, what is going on here, Western devs? Like, what's going on? Like, no one talked about the, like, I'm not going to go into the whole, like, Western devs are out of touch with reality and they don't know how to make games that appeal to the masses and their character designs are lame or boring or uninspired. I'm not going to go into that. I mean, that is a subjective thing. That is more of a, like, which do you prefer sort of thing. That wasn't really talked about in the podcast, but I do feel, as somebody who has played a lot of games over the years, there has been a decline in the quality of these Western games. And you see it in the Steam reviews, you see it in the media reviews. They're, you know, either they're not ranking very highly, or they're coming out, they're overhyped, they underdeliver. They're loaded with bugs. They're at launch. They're loaded with optimization issues. People complain about optimization issues. Some of that is true. Some of it's like false, I will say, because like if someone's trying to play a game, if someone's trying to play a 2025 game on a GTX 1060 at 1440p with an ancient Intel Skylake i5, and they're complaining about poor optimization, I think they need a reality touch, or they need to go and touch grass and give up on gaming if they can't upgrade their PC. Like, those complaints are completely invalid and mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. But just like someone who has, you know, like a 7900 XTX or a 4090 or a 5080, and the game is crashing or, like, you know, flickering or some weird issue, and multiple people are seeing the same problem, that's an optimization problem. That is a day one issue, and there's a lot of that with these modern games. Now, with these Chinese games, you're not seeing that. Like, and these guys, they survey their player base very, very often, and they give them a lot of rewards for just answering the survey. So they're getting a lot of customer feedback, but they're also offering incentives to actually solicit the feedback. That is something that I think goes a long way in helping them improve their products. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing that Chinese developers are doing right, irrespective of how the game looks or how the game appeals to different audiences. Like, we're not even talking about like art style or music design or music choice or level design. Those are all like fundamental things about a game that are different for each game. There was a question earlier, so you think networking field will be more important? It was fading with cloud computing. I wouldn't say networking field was fading with cloud computing. Why would it be fading with cloud computing? If anything, it would be growing with cloud computing. There's different sectors for networking, though, when you say networking. I mean, are we talking about enterprise networking? Are we talking about service provider networking, data center networking? These are all different fields. They're all very, very different from each other. They basically handed Eastern developers the cake by going woke and everything. Yeah, I mean, that is like a whole nother topic in itself. Because not all Western games are like that, though. Like, not all of them are like that. So that's kind of a blanket statement that can be applied to some Western studios. I don't think you can apply it to all Western studios. But when I think of the games that I play, so I think one of the best Western games that I've played in recent history is Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen, back in 2023. That was a fantastic game. Oh, obviously Expedition 33 is another one. But here's the catch. The two games that I just mentioned, Expedition 33 and Lords of the Fallen, are not made by game developers based in North America. Those studios are based in Europe. And this is the other thing that this guy in this podcast interview was talking about. He said that North American developers and Japanese developers are slowly declining in different ways, but they're both from his point of view, and he's been in industry since the 90s. He's been making games since the 90s, and he's in a management position. He said that North American studios, largely studios based in the US and also studios based in Japan, both of them are in a slow decline. Where he sees the growth happening, number one, China. China is on the rise. Like, there's no denying that. There's no denying that. Like, this game right here, this game is proof of his statement. Like, this is the best game that I've played this month. Yes, a gacha game that I wasn't even planning to play is the best game that I've played this month. This game is miles ahead of Code Vein 2, even though Code Vein 2 was originally my most anticipated game of this month. It was probably the most underwhelming game that I've played this month. Trails Beyond the Horizon is a good game, but it is, for some reason, it's just lacking the soul that the older Falcom games had, like Trails in the Sky and the Crossbell Arc, and maybe the early Cold Steel games. So when he said the Japanese studios are declining, they're sustaining and declining, they're holding status quo and declining, is like, those are the kind of things. Western studios, same thing. Holding status quo and declining. Holding status quo, declining. It depends on the studio. It's either or. But neither one of them are growing. Is what he's getting at, is that there's no growth. Like, they're not growing the way they should or the way they used to. That's the point. The Chinese studios are growing. It is so obvious. There is so much momentum. There's so much momentum. He said that he went overseas to China to go. I think he was in Hong Kong. He was probably in HK. He was talking to NetEase. He went to NetEase to get funding for a game that they're working on. And NetEase was on board. They signed the agreements. NetEase even showed him some of the games that their studios are working on, and he was blown away by some of the future games. He couldn't talk about any of these games. These are all games that are currently in development by NetEase, and they're making some fantastic stuff. And he was like, "Man, these guys are innovating. These guys are innovating in the ways that Japan and America used to innovate in the days of like PS2 and maybe PS3. Like, that's what's happening." And this is a guy who's been making games since like N64 and PS1. So this guy is not his first rodeo. He knows what he's talking about. So he gets that vibe when he sees the Chinese studios. So he becomes enthusiastic about what they're doing, and he's like, "Man, yeah, these guys are on the right track. Like, this is the sort of stuff. They have the right momentum. They have the right talent. They know what they're doing. They explore things with such detail, with such polish, that it's like the West and Japan used to do that. Now, arguably, Japan still does that. Japanese games are still good quality. It's just like Super Googly just said, Japanese can't catch up in tech. The Japanese, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's like the younger generation just doesn't care anymore, or the older generation that's still forced to work well past retirement making games for Nintendo just are out of touch with reality, and they can't adopt new technology, or they don't care to learn anymore. Like, I don't know what the problem is. There's clearly a problem with Japanese game development. It is a different problem from Western development. It's almost like the Japanese have a more legitimate excuse as to why they're declining. It's a resource problem, and it is a knowledge problem. But these are legitimate issues that can be fixed with proper training, leadership, etc. The Western problems, dude, like I don't understand them. I personally don't understand why the Western game studios are having the problems they're having, because to me these are stupid problems. Like, I'm being 100% honest right now. Like, the issues with Western studios, like, they need to get their act together, because they have all the technology. Like, technically, a lot of these games that the Chinese studios are making are built on Western engines. Unity, Unreal Engine. Like, these are Western developed things. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. And I applaud these Chinese developers for taking what works and making a finished product that is commercially successful. Like, that is what you're supposed to do if you're in game development. On the business side of things, like that's what you're supposed to do. So they are achieving the objective. They're doing the right thing. These characters are getting bored because I keep talking, so they're just going to sit down. You look at the games that have come out from studios that take a long time. What happened to Concord? Concord comes out. What happens? 2 weeks, game canceled. How much money did they spend on making the game? I don't know, like $250 million to make this game. It took, what, 4 years? 5 years? Failed. Like, how? Why? Like, what happened? Like, these are stupid problems. These are stupid problems. You know, like, the crazy thing is, you look at the game. Oh, this is another thing. Skipping ahead a little bit. In this podcast, they talked about the game in 2025 that had the most mind share. The number one game throughout 2025 with the most mind share at the global level was none other than Monster Hunter Wilds. Yes, Monster Hunter Wilds was the most commercially successful and carried the most mind share throughout 2025. Not Battlefield 6, not Expedition 33, definitely not Call of Duty, and definitely not like Silk Song or those indie games that, you know, everyone hyped them up and they did really well in the reviews, and they got sent into the Jeff Keighley show and all this stuff, and they got nominated for things, but they ultimately didn't win anything. Like, no, none of those games. No, Monster Hunter Wilds. You go look up the numbers. You go pull the numbers. You can do the math. You can see all the dollar numbers. Monster Hunter Wild was the most highest mindshare game of 2025. I knew that was going to happen because I knew that was Capcom's cash cow. Like, as someone who literally Monster Hunter Wilds was the game that I clocked in the highest hours of all the games that I played last year, I 100% agree with what that developer said.
Wukong, which came out 1.5 years ago, is still the most GPU-intensive game in the whole world.
Yeah, I appreciate that comment because I almost completely forgot about Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong represents more than just the highest, most demanding GPU game in the whole world. Black Myth Wukong stands as an example that Chinese developers are not just gacha game developers. Like, that game is proof that they can make a game that has incredible visual fidelity, can be extremely demanding to run, but when given the correct hardware to back it up, it results in an amazing gaming experience for an action game. And it is not a gacha game, it is not a multiplayer game, it is a one and done purchase game, start to finish, all the content there, complete package, no bugs, no issues. That's how it is. That is how single player games should be done. That is how they should be done. So dude, like, I'm serious. Like, what's happening here? What is happening with the game industry? Like, are all the games just going to come from China in the future? Like 10 years from now, is all going to be cloud-based gaming from China? Like, what's going to happen to Western developers? What's going to happen to Japanese developers? Japanese developers are struggling too, man. I think I said this on one of the streams, either last week or 2 weeks ago. I forgot which publisher in Japan, in an interview, said that it sounded like he was making excuses, but he had a valid complaint. He said that, I think the question was, why is it that Japan can't make a game like with the same quality level of Genshin Impact? Like, I think that the question was something around, I don't know if it was specifically Genshin Impact, but it was basically like, why are Japanese developers incapable, or at least it appears that they are incapable, of making a game as polished as Genshin Impact or a similar Chinese-based live service game? And because Japan is basically Japan is like the mother of live service games. Like, they have so many mobile live service games that don't even ever go outside of Japan. Like, they stay in the local market. And basically he said that, well, the difference is that Japanese game development typically starts and ends with a relatively small development team. And it's been like this since the beginning of the video game industry, and it's never really changed. Sometimes you have these rare games that are really, really big projects that require a lot of people outside of the core team, especially if it's going to be a multiplayer game, and it's going to include a server-based infrastructure. Like, the best example I can give you in that regard is Final Fantasy XIV. That's an MMO. It has a whole server infrastructure. They have data centers globally for the different markets, that kind of thing. They have to have a whole network team and infrastructure and all that stuff. So yeah, those are relatively rare. I mean, obviously all of the mobile games have similar, like, cloud server client setups, but fundamentally their teams that develop the games are relatively small. Contrast that with Chinese studios and Western studios. He mentioned both. He said the West and China, both, if they want to make a game and if they want to go big and make like a really big high budget AAA game, they have a lot of people, they can get a lot of money, they can get a lot of like venture capital, private equity capital. They can basically raise a lot of money, hire a bunch of people, put a ton of people in different teams working on various different parts of a game, and they can release a very high quality game like Grand Theft Auto or Forza or Arknights Endfield or any of these type of live service games, and they can all be commercially successful at the end of the day because they threw a ton of people and money and resources at the problem to get a finished product out the door. So that's why Japanese love gaming on their phones and handhelds. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with what he's saying. This game can be played on a smartphone. So it's like probably most of the Japanese people that play this game are playing this game on their smartphone. So it's like you can make a game run on mobile. You can also make the game go big and multi-platform. This game is playable on PlayStation 5. Like, I could play this game on PlayStation 5. I could play this game on my Strix Halo. I can play it on the 5090. I can play it on the Threadripper. I can play it on my phone. So it's like it's available everywhere. It's all linked. It's all cross-save progression. So, you know, like, that's how you release a product that can appeal to basically the widest. You cast the biggest net possible to get the biggest return. The move to 3D and Nintendo's time constraints and likely burnout is why. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Well, I think there's a lack of adopting more newer rendering techniques, and or even like a desire to even want to even learn. Like, I don't know, because somebody told me once, I forgot who this was, but somebody told me that when they got introduced to Chinese games, they were so blown away that the first thing they realized was like two things. One, these Chinese games are taking the best that the Japanese offer. They're taking the Japanese traditional aesthetics, like the anime aesthetic in a lot of their games. Not all the games. Look at Black Myth Wukong. But they're taking that. It's not even just Japanese. Like, it's Eastern aesthetics, Eastern design philosophies from an artistic standpoint, and they're combining that with the Western technology. So like Unreal Engine is a good example, or Unity, or they're just grabbing something off the shelf that has already proven to be scalable and works and is scalable, and they're just using that to build their end product, and that is totally fine. That is the correct way to do it. It's like, why reinvent the wheel if it's already there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why go and manufacture tires if you can just buy them off the shelf? If the end goal is to build an electric car, why do we have to invent our own tires when we can just go and get them from someone? You know what I'm saying? Like, you contrast that with a lot of these Japanese developers, like From Software. They have their own tools. They have their own archaic engines. They program everything in the reverse way of the way everyone else does it. Oftentimes, you look at their for loops, and the recursive loops are all done backwards, and they're using like regular expressions all like in the way that you used to do it 20 years ago, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's completely different. So. And then they want to go and build their own engines, like the way Falcom went and stopped using Sony's Fire engine and went and like made their own engine for their Ys and their Falcom, or their Legend of Heroes games, which is okay. I mean, you can do it, but it's like, is it going to really deliver on the promise? Maybe for their design goals it will, but it just means that it's going to soak up more time and resources on having to build all those tools and create all that stuff from scratch, or level up an old engine. Like, a lot of people don't even know this. Like, Elden Ring is made on literally the Demon Souls engine from PS3. It's literally the Demon Souls engine from PS3. They just tweaked it a little bit over the years, just because of more memory, more CPU, higher spec average hardware, so they can do more with the rendering. But fundamentally, they're still using Havoc for the physics. They're still using, they're still using like all these old stuff from like the 7th generation of gaming. It's like the game is a great game. They can make a great game. Elden Ring is one of the best games ever made. But you know, like And then you'll have people like Digital Foundry that are going to be like, oh, look at this traversal stutter. Look at that. Look at this stutter fest here. Oh, the Sentinel Knight, the Tree Sentinel comes in and the FPS dips because of this thing or whatever. It's most likely because they don't know how to optimize because they're using some engine from the PS3 days. You know, like stuff like that. Gacha games run well because they're made to run in almost every. Well, look, they're adopting Blizzard's model. Look at World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was so commercially successful when it came out because it worked on a potato. Only like the worst spec PCs couldn't run WoW at all at launch. I mean, back then, I remember when I first played WoW, I played WoW on a laptop. I played WoW on a Toshiba laptop that had an ATI. It had like a Intel Pentium 4 mobile with a ATI. It was like graphics by. I don't even remember what the ATI graphics chip in the laptop was, but I could play World of Warcraft at like 40 FPS, 40 to 45 FPS on like low to medium settings at 1280 by 800 resolution on a Toshiba 15.4 inch laptop back in the day. So, in fact, it was World of Warcraft that got me to build my very first gaming desktop PC. I don't think I ever told that story before. Yeah, it was WoW. It was World of Warcraft that got me to invest in saving up money to build my very first PC because I didn't like how my laptop couldn't run the game at 60 frames per second. I was stuck at like 43. I remember it was like 43 FPS. Well, I remember the laptop, I boot up the game, and at the beginning, for the first like 2 minutes, the game runs at like 60 FPS or close to 60 FPS. But then the laptop thermal throttles because of overheating, and it would drop down to like 43 FPS in WoW. And the fans were like super loud. This is the reason why I never recommend gaming laptops, just because historically my very first gaming attempt on a computer was on that laptop, and it was not a good experience. So, you know, wow, it was World of Warcraft, vanilla World of Warcraft in like 2006 or 2005 or somewhere around the beginning of the 7th generation of gaming. WoW doesn't run on mobile. Well, we're talking about you understand the statement I'm making, though. The point I'm making is, why was Blizzard's WoW so successful at the time? We're talking like 2005. Because it could run on mostly the lowest common denominator PC. This is exactly the thing with the gacha games. They make it run well on a variety of platforms, on the lowest common denominator platforms. Has anybody played the Neo 3 demo yet? Let me see what I want to do here. I mean, this is so gacha. Look at this. Check it out. I log in tomorrow. I can get another ticket for another wish, or another pull on the gacha. Log in Friday. You get a free 6-star weapon. New Horizons. New Horizons. Gotta get all this stuff. Look, gotta love this mobile-looking UI. We're gonna have to do Lone Wolf's event, similar to the Levitain event. The game has now been out officially for 1 week. We are now currently on the 8th day since release of Enfield. So there's no more freebies. The limited time event, 9 days remaining, 13 hours to claim your rewards. If this is the future of all gaming, like, we're kind of cooked. But luckily, that's not the case. You're downloading the Neo 3 demo now? I'll probably take a look at it this weekend. I'm not going to look at it on this stream. But yeah. But man, the more I play this game though, the more I'm impressed with the game. If you stick it out, if you can get past the initial, like, first part where you have to learn how to do the factory stuff. In fact, I might need to do all the factory stuff because my factory might need some supervision. Is Super Googly and I the only two that played this game? Has no one else that watches this stream bothered to try this game, even though it's a free-to-play game? I don't know. If you like factory building simulator games, you might actually like this game, because I would say maybe 40% of the game is factory simulator, like Factorio. Hey Chief, what's going on? For basic HH, I can pull anytime as long as I have the Yes, you can pull at any time. Yeah, I've got a lot of wishes saved up too on this one. I'm at 54 pulls. I'm at 54 pulls. Man, I've been playing this game, like, ever since I got into this game. This is like the only game that I've been playing besides Code Vein 2. Code Vein 2. This game basically replaced Trails Beyond the Horizon. And now it's like Code Vein 2 is at risk of being replaced by this as well. But I think Neo 3 will definitely stop this game in its tracks, in terms of, so to speak. Because this is the best game I played in January, for sure. Like, every other game that has come out in January has either been a disappointment, looking at High Guard, or underwhelming. Or just meeting expectations. I'll say Legend of Heroes, Trails Beyond the Horizon, met my expectations. It didn't exceed them, it just met my expectations. This game exceeded my expectations. It's really good. I like how they have the Hansa. Wait a minute, that looks like... Hold up, you guys help me read. The people who can read, what does that say? It's like child something clean. It's like, this is the types though, right? Like, this one is, why is there's like a scrape through, it's like it's scraped through the writing. Hold up. There was another thing that I saw earlier that had Chinese writing on it, and I could read some of it. I could read some of it, guys. I could read some of it. I never studied Chinese writing, but I studied kanji, and kanji is similar. So let me go find that one. Oh yeah, here it is. This thing. I remember looking at this, and I was like, okay, this says, this is like, like some spray water, something water. I don't know what the third character means. Someone's gonna have to help me with the third character. Super Googly's gonna have to help me out, man. Like, I know the middle one means water. For or like spray water something? Like, what does the third character mean? I can't forget the second one because the second one is basically also Wednesday. The second one is water or Wednesday. Wednesday, water day, it has a symbol for water. Wednesday is the day of water in Chinese.
Don't worry, I'm around. Just go ahead and waste your time.
I can't remember the pronunciation, so someone's gonna have to, like, forget about pronunciation. I can't pronounce it, but I know it means water. I don't know what this last symbol means. Yeah, I was like spray water, but like, what is the third one? The third symbol is the spray? I like that they don't have the English though, because it's like, oh, now I gotta figure out what it means. Water spraying car? Oh, is the third symbol car? Is the third symbol vehicle? Because that's the one I couldn't figure out what that means. Yeah, I can see how it kind of looks. If it is, I can see how it looks kind of like kuruma in Japanese. The symbol for car in Japanese looks a little like that, but it's different though. It's different. It's not the same. The middle symbol is definitely water. Water spraying vehicle. Is the first symbol the spray or the vehicle? The first one has the number 4 in it, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, this is like... This is literally like they've gone to China. The first one kind of looks like a pool of water. Well, the first one, if I remember correctly, that symbol where it's like a box with the 2 legs in it and the thing on top, that has multiple different meanings. The middle one is water, and the third one might be the vehicle. Oh, the first one might be the container. Water container, sprayer, something. You can tell that it's got water in it. Yeah, it's got a hose here. It even has a license plate on it. This makes me want to learn how to read Chinese. It's actually not that hard to learn. The hardest thing about Mandarin is pronunciation. For people who learned English, or people who know English, the hardest thing about learning Chinese is pronunciation. The tones. You gotta learn the tones. And I never mastered the tones. It's actually... Well, I don't know. I won't say that it's easier to become literate, because if someone really wants to learn like Chinese or one of these, where a language where you don't know the reading, the writing style, you have to learn the literate. You have to become literate essentially. I don't want to say, oh, you can learn to speak before you become literate. You should really become literate while also learning to speak. That's the ideal. You don't want to be like a kid who can talk but can't read anything. You know, that'd be kind of weird. I think there's a place where we can go and we can see someone actually using that vehicle. I wonder what inspired them to make this city the way it is. I mean, it looks like, is this like Shanghai or no, it doesn't look like Shanghai. It doesn't have any tall buildings. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mandarin is a cool language. The thing, too, is English and Mandarin are grammatically similar. So like I said, the challenge with learning Chinese or Mandarin is not so much grammar. The challenge is pronunciation, like mastering the tones. Because you have the what is it? The ma, and then you have like a fourth. There's like 4 or 5 tones, you know, and I'm probably butchering the tones right there, but you have the rising one, the descending one, the ascending one, the neutral or the flat one, and there's like a short one or something like that. You have to master the tones. That's like the key thing to learning Mandarin. The writing is just pure memorization. It's pure memorization. And people are like, oh, I can't memorize so many symbols. Oh, yeah? Did you ever play Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh? Then how do you memorize all those card effects? You know what I'm saying? You can totally memorize all of those symbols if you can like memorize how to play a video game or a card game. No. Like this right here, this would be read left to right. It's read left to right, like English. Now, they do have an older style, which I think you can read up, down, like vertically. I know Japanese can be read vertically. Old school Japanese, I think, maybe was right to left. No, it's left to right, but in the books, like, if you're talking about like a manga book, Japanese manga, like, the Japanese version will use, you'll turn the pages right to left. And but the way you read like a paragraph is still left to right. Like top left to bottom right. The only reason why I can read some of this Chinese is because I learned a bit of Japanese living in Japan for like half a year. And the writing is similar looking. I mean, I can't speak any Mandarin, but it is a cool language, though. I mean, that's the thing about AI, though. I really wish there was a way. Maybe Elon or someone will figure this out. Like, there's like a chip you can put that can help accelerate learning how to do something. So you could essentially like put your brain on autopilot to learn a language or something like that, just to automate the process. Because without using the language every day, it's kind of tough to keep it. The nice thing about being in the US, though, there's enough people that can speak Mandarin that if someone really wanted to learn Mandarin, it's easy to like talk to somebody in person. You can always do that online, but you know, sometimes the human interaction also helps because there's so much nuance when it comes to speaking that's communicated non-verbally as well, which does help a lot. That was one of the things too, like when I was in Japan, the in-person communication is so valuable because if you're just talking to somebody online, the nuance of body language isn't there. So it's like you're missing a lot of the kind of the nuances of how the communication goes, if that makes sense. Well, oftentimes people who teach languages have to know both languages pretty well. They don't actually have to learn. You know, the thing about teaching a language, I would think that ideally, it's best if the instructor knows the target language as well as the student's native language. But I don't think the student's native language is necessary most of the time for the instructor. Meaning, I feel like it's possible for an instructor to teach someone their language without having to know that person's language, like the student's language. So like if you were like to use your example, your Mandarin teacher, she has to know how to speak Mandarin or Chinese, obviously, so you can learn it. But she doesn't necessarily have to know English that well to be effective, if that makes sense. Because ideally, you don't want to rely on English at all, if at all possible, except in rare exceptions where it kind of helps. But if you're trying to learn another language, you really don't want to use your native language at all while you're trying to acquire the target language. Because I forgot who told me this years ago, but someone told me that starting up a conversation in your native language while you're trying to acquire another language is like getting off a treadmill and eating a slice of pizza while you're trying to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best analogy that I've heard to describe like trying to learn the language. You don't want to use your language, like at all. Oh, I missed the thing. It's oh, it's way up there. Now I know where it is.
These resources are really important.
The first, like the second language that I learned in school, well, I don't really know much of it anymore, was Spanish. So technically Spanish was my second language that I was supposed to learn, but I never remembered much of it, even though I took, I think, like 2 years of it, two or 3 years of it in school, and never really, I mean, I can probably read Spanish better than I can speak it now. But it's funny because that's true of a lot of Japanese people. Japanese people study English through their school years, but then they barely know how to speak it, but they can read most of it. That's kind of how I feel when it comes to Spanish. Like I can't really speak much Spanish at all anymore, but I can read it still and mostly kind of figure out what it means.
This is one rewarding trip.
Alright, so we're probably going to swap over to Code Vein here in a second, but I need to make sure that I burn all my dailies. I gotta do all my dailies, gotta burn this timed resource that keeps accumulating. We're gonna get another one, we're gonna go to 193 in like 1 minute. So I guess I'm kind of actually, the way I'll figure out what I need is I'll just try to advance my characters. So level 70,
Still waiting for something.
level 60, level 60. So these two need to be leveled up. So what does he need? He needs mushrooms. He needs shrooms. Okay. Let's go. Wait, hold up. What's the timer on that? So it's got like 1. How many hours is this going to take? 5 hours. I never played a lot of like Rune, what is it, Rune Factory or those other type of base, like Stardew Valley. Do those have timer-based systems to get certain materials? This literally has like 1. That's not gonna be enough. Oh wait, there's a whole nother spot right over here. Can I go over there though? Oh, I can't even. Oh, it's Dark Souls style. You can't swim. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get over there. He needs those mushrooms. Wait, what's this? That's an animal? That is a giant snail.
Now
That's a
bring the pain.
hostile slug? This game does have a pretty good combo
We
system
made another
where you can leverage your party members. Oh, a level 60.
time to fight.
We'll see this through.
Yeah, the frame rate does dip under 60 on here. It looks like my settings might be a little bit too high for open world. But with variable refresh, it's not really a problem because it's still staying above 50. It's like we're playing this with like PAL FPS.
Shows.
Man, this thing has tons of HP. For those of you that are going to be playing... Oh man, he's going to do a big attack, yeah. Those of you going to be playing Neo 3 next week,
Done today.
we could probably play as a group, because that game will have up to 3 players, PUBG style co-op. And that is probably going to be the biggest game that I'll be playing for the next couple of months, or at least the next several weeks.
This is one rewarding trip.
So we will look at the demo, but I don't want to burn myself out of that game early.
Now it's time to bring the pain. You'd say that. I'll remember that. Make way! That twilight. I pulled it off, right? We've done it. Hope you're not tired, Mr. Dolly. Victory goes without saying.
Wait, I can't get this? How is my inventory full? I guess I have to throw this. Yeah, I'll have to come back and pick this up. Wait, I've got... Oh, I can actually unlock this. Oh, this just reminded me I gotta go and, like, check all the recycling stations. So now would be a good time to go back to Valley 4 to go see the factory and drop off all the stuff. Is Arknights Endfield pay to win? No, it's not. It's not pay to win. I mean, pretty much every gacha game is not really pay to win. The only one that I can think of that I would consider pay to win is Tower of Fantasy. Because Tower of Fantasy has multiplayer. It's basically like an MMO with a gacha system. So if you spend a lot of money... I mean, it's kind of a different problem though, like pay to win in an MMO. But no, this is definitely not pay to win. I treat this game like I'm playing World of Warcraft without the other players on screen. I mean, that's basically how it is. This game does have friends list. I don't know if they're going to implement any kind of like true multiplayer. I don't know if there's a roadmap for that. But what I do know that it does have asynchronous multiplayer. So that is a thing. When I say I treat it like an MMO, it means that I bought the 1 month thing, so it's like $5, $5 US for what is it, like 6,000? It's like 6,000 of the currency for the pulls or whatever. I forgot what the total amount was. They give you like a certain number up front when you pay $5, and then you get the rest of it in increments of 200 of that currency every single day. So you essentially, it incentivizes you to log in every single day while it's active, at least once. So a day. So it's kind of like an MMO in that regard. $5. It essentially doubles your gacha pull ratio for $5. I kind of think that's like the best deal. So in terms of like spending money on the game, I mean, it's not a huge spend when you think about it. Like, I spent more money on Code Vein 2 because I actually bought that game compared to this game, and I've enjoyed this game a lot more than that game. Yeah, this is the currency. So every day that I log in for the next, I think we're down to like 24 days. I'm getting like 200 of this just automatically. So in terms of the pull ratio, it helps a ton with like pulling on the gacha system. Have I seen the new Cherry keyboard? No. TMR keyboard? No. I have a bunch of different keyboards that I use, actually, now that I think about it. I don't have the same type of keyboard for my different computers. What I do use, though, is I use a KVM switch built into my 4K monitor that I'm using. So, like this monitor that I'm using right now, this is a Sony InZone M9, and it has a built-in KVM. So I have one mouse and one keyboard that I use to share across multiple devices that I plug into the monitor. So one of those devices is my Tech Thursdays computer. The other device is this Strix Halo mini PC that we're streaming from right now. But the keyboard that I'm using is a Corsair K95. It is a Cherry MX Brown. The keyboard that I use with my other computer, well, I have two different keyboards besides this one. I've got the Corsair K95, and then I have a Japanese keyboard. It is from a company called Real Force RGB. It is a Topre keyboard, very, very rare. It's the Topre keyboard, which is it is a hybrid between a membrane rubber dome plus capacitive actuation. So it is a very unique keyboard. It is a Japanese keyboard. That is on the computer over there. You guys can't see it, but it's like over here off the screen. And then my third keyboard is a Logitech. Is it Logitech Orion?
Another day of beautiful
I gotta look up the
sounds.
name. I think Logitech Orion. It's the same keyboard that Yoshi P uses. The producer of Final Fantasy XIV. Me and him use the exact same keyboard. Logitech Orion Spark? Yes, Logitech G910 Orion Spark. That is the keyboard that I use with my Threadripper PC. That is using Romer G mechanical switches, which are incredibly durable. Those things have redundant actuation. Let me find the picture of it. Oh, Gamers Nexus reviewed it back in 2014. Now I have the newer one. I have the newer one that doesn't have the controversial keycap shape that the first one had. And I've had that keyboard probably for like, I don't know, like 5 years? 4 or 5 years? I bought it on clearance at Micro Center. So that's actually my newest keyboard. But yeah, those are the keyboards that I use. Cherry MX Brown, Corsair K95, a Real Force RGB Topre, and a Logitech Orion Spark. Logitech, and then Corsair K95. Yeah, that one. Yeah, this one. Okay, yeah, this one, and what was the third one? Topre. Real Force RGB. I don't know if this one's gonna be on here. Oh, unveils this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, I've got pictures of them. Okay. So these are my keyboards, for those that are curious. Because I don't talk about keyboards that often. So I have this. This is the one that I'm using right now. This is connected to the KVM. So the Corsair K95. The Threadripper, I'm using this. The Logitech Orion Spark. And the other computer is using the Real Force RGB. This keyboard is really weird. It had a bunch of different companies that resold it. Mine actually was from Seasonic. Like, Seasonic was OEMing this through whoever made this, and then Fujitsu, in this article, Fujitsu also had it. So yeah, this one is kind of the strangest keyboard that I have. It is probably the rarest keyboard that I have as well. But keyboard enthusiasts probably are familiar with Topre. They either hate Topre or they love Topre. Topre is a Japanese style mechanical. It's like a weird hybrid between it's capacitive actually, with a rubber dome for the actuation. Via that, this, and this. If I had to say which one I like the most in terms of the typing feel, the Corsair K95 with the Cherry MX Brown has the best typing feel overall. It's the most, like, it has the most, it has the best feedback when you're typing on it. The Logitech is actually quite similar. The Roamer G has the same sort of weight actuation as Cherry MX Brown. So it is very similar to Cherry MX Brown. It doesn't have the same sound, and it also feels kind of, it feels a little bit squishier than Cherry MX Brown. So that's probably the reason why I prefer Cherry MX over the Roamer G. But Roamer G is extremely durable. And then you have Topre. Topre is probably my third favorite one. It's okay. It's definitely a strange sensation when typing on this though, compared to the other keyboards. Anyway, it looks like the factory's doing good. I need to go and run to all of these recycle facilities real quick and grab the materials. That is what it's like to play these type of games. You gotta go and get all the materials. Even though the factory does automate quite a decent amount of them. And I think they want you to use the zipline system, which I didn't really bother to build. And I probably should, but I just keep using fast travel. I mean, fast travel works fine. I guess if somebody has this game installed on a hard drive, the zipline system might be more convenient. I think that was all three of them here. And I think there's one... yeah, there's one here. Yeah, it's one of those that has anti-blue light. I don't remember the brand. These glasses that I'm wearing are so old that the little logo has worn away. I bought these a long time ago from Fry's Electronics. So I don't even know if the model even exists anymore. Oh, somebody put like a turret here. Wow. That's the only one of these. So now we go to Science Park, and we're gonna go to this guy. We gotta check all the recycling stations. I also need to do I forgot I need to do my trade routes. Yeah, this game has a lot of like upkeep, and I feel like that's one of the things that is probably going to keep people away from playing it. You gotta get all the stuff. Complete the outpost mission to raise the level. Oh man, wait, we're not making a lot of these. We're gonna have to produce more batteries. $40,000 in batteries, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and do this. We're gonna have to track that, but I need to go get my... Go to the recycle center first.
Careful. That enemy looks really dangerous.
I don't know what these people are doing. Let's just run past them. Did I aggro these things? Okay, no, good, good. Okay, there was one here. And I think that was the only one. Oh, I gotta check the terminals, too. You're thinking about getting gamer glasses? I don't have any good recommendations because the ones that I have are super old. So I don't know. How do I... Oh, this costs 50,000 to upgrade? Is it just the one place? Oh, but then he'll have this. He'll have a great sword. And he'll supply a stock. Okay, let's do it. Level 2. Whoa, okay, hold on a second, wait a minute. Wait a minute, there's a lot of stuff in here. What is this? Cultural goods. 70% off. Grab this. Wishes? Wishes on the gacha. 84% off. 92% off on that first one, that was good. Alright, what I need to get though, I think I need these things. E1 or E2. I basically need stuff. Anything that says it's like 90% off is good. I'm gonna need more of these. I'm gonna have to build a factory. See, this is the reason why some people are like, man, I don't like this game because of the factory. Well, the factory, 99% off. 99% off. You gotta look for the deals. Yeah, those wishes were the good deal. Yeah, that's good. That means now I've got 56 pulls. 56 pulls on the standard banner. And we're now back over 10,000 on the Euro Barrel. But see, people who don't know how to play these other games are probably so confused. Like, this game has so many subsystems that you have to learn. That's why it is a huge... it is a monumental task to learn how to play a game like this, which is really not how gacha games should be. And most gacha games are not this challenging to figure out. So in some ways, and I've told the developers, I told them, you know, like, this game, like, it's a great game. The quality's there, the polish is there. I can tell it's a high quality game, but they're trying to meld too many systems together. Like, they've got Factory Simulator in here. You literally have the whole game. Factorio is in this game. You have a dungeon crawler. You have to level up characters. It's very story driven. It has like a main scenario like Final Fantasy XIV. There's so much stuff here. Which is what a live service game is supposed to be. A live service game is supposed to have a whole bunch of content because it's supposed to keep you around for a long time. But I told them the only problem is that when you have too many of these things in your game, some of this stuff is not going to resonate with a wide audience because some of it is stuff like you're going to appeal to some gamers for half of your game, then you're going to appeal to other gamers for the other half of your game. So there's going to be this weird, like, you're only satisfying like half of the audience at any given time, or maybe it's more like a 70% of the audience prefer the gacha character building and the standard gacha stuff. The remaining 30% don't like that and they prefer the factory simulator. Alright, that was this one. Is there another one? I kind of need to run the power grid to this. Generate more electricity for that AI. I think we just gotta go to Plateau. And go to this one. And then I think I'm done. I keep thinking that you get a motorcycle. At a certain point, I think you get a motorcycle in this game.
We'll end this fight easily.
I'm with you.
Get crushed!
Take him out!
Perish! I pulled it off, right?
Yeah, we need to get the mining operations here. There's some ore here. StarCraft 2 minerals, man. We require more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more Vespene gas. This game is all about getting minerals and Vespene gas. More so than StarCraft at some point. We require more minerals. You require more minerals. It's like I try to build something. You require more minerals. What is underneath here? Wait, hold up. Oh. Huh? What? Oh wait, I gotta go. Wait, use. Oh wait, we gotta go behind this one?
A reward for the difficulty.
It's got that Legend of Zelda gameplay.
These resources are really important. Let's try to gather more.
Thanks for the reminder.
Alright, where does this zip line go? Looks like it goes here. Let's see where this goes. Death Stranding style. Or I guess somebody built it, but they didn't. Oh, I see. It crosses over. But I don't think it actually goes. Oh, yeah, it does actually cross over. It crosses to a new area that I've never been to. Technically, I do need to explore this whole map. But I think we'll do that some other time. Some refugee camp. Well, this was a waste of time. Let me go back over here. I think I got all of them, so I guess I need to think, like, what am I gonna do about my... What is this? Oh, this is the level up thing. Oh, okay, I guess I'll do that. Yeah, these factories... See, look, this is the thing. This is like playing Factorio. I gotta figure out how to... At a certain point, I'm gonna have to really take a hard, long look at how to optimize this, because I've got a lot of bottlenecks here. You got the gearing units barely even doing anything. Like, is this maxed out? That's maxed out, that's why. So I need to shift the production over to higher tier stuff. One of the reasons why some players don't want to play this game, but they want to play a gacha game, but they don't want to play this game, is because this game, like, if you want gear, like, if you want to gear your characters, you literally have to use the factory to manufacture their equipment. Like, they just pull it straight off the assembly line. So, and technically, I can actually gear my characters, at least some parts of them. I don't have enough of this stuff, though. Like, I'm super low on this. So let's go ahead and do that quest first.
Those footprints were definitely made by Wooster boots. There's no faking that. I saw it myself, along with Wooster bags and satchels. Just trust me, I know how to sneak my way there. Give me rations for 7 days. No, just 3 days. That'll work for me.
No. Emergency supplies are reserved for the search and rescue teams. The SAR received updates from the injured and already found 2 people. All I have from you is a hunch.
Okay, you're just giving me the cold shoulder. You never really trusted me, did you?
Hey, everyone worked
Hold on,
real
I'm gonna
hard to
move
scrape
this
these
over.
resources together. I gotta be responsible for them.
Move that over there.
What's happening, Mr. Soth?
Just when things are looking up, Dewey claims he's found more survivors. He's just coming up with an excuse to get more supplies. Back when we were still in the cave, I heard he was always trying to find excuses to slack off. He ain't too clean. Times were rough then, so we let him off because it was nothing serious. But now, I won't forgive anyone lying about matters of life and death.
My eyes have been opened.
Thank you for dutifully managing this outpost.
Can't even see. There's like a
To the business
mask.
at hand. We're thinking about allocating key resources for the camp. I wonder if we can discuss transportation priorities with you.
I like how the
Wonderful.
main
I was
character's
about to ask you
nickname
the same thing.
later on in the story is Dark Mask. They just call him Dark Mask. They just give up.
This might take a while. Enman, Dewey seemed a little off when he left just now. I'm a bit worried. Should we check on him a bit? Huh?
Is he gonna do something dangerous? Okay. Whatever. Alright. Find Dewey at the marked location. Is he like way over? Oh, he's way over there. He's way over this on this side. It's probably just gonna be fight a bunch of enemies. Here, let's
Breakers
see.
messed this place up completely.
Find the
There used to be,
survivors.
trails we could use.
Yeah, they really caused havoc.
They should just add an auto build button.
Adjust to slow.
Well, the blueprints help a lot. I really just need to gear my characters. At this point, that's like the only thing that I don't have is I just don't have the gear. I need to do the trading to get more of the currency to actually build the stuff in the factory. I have the stuff in the factory though.
Dewey! Edmund!
See? I've been telling you the truth.
You're really trying to save people, huh?
Huh. Trying is at least better than doing nothing. Trading a scoundrel's life for a chance? I say it's a win. I know what's gonna happen. Once the outpost starts taking in people who know me, everyone's gonna find out. I never had a proper job, so I survived on stealing stuff from people. I was still in a detention cell when the LBs busted into the place.
But you still insisted on heading out and saving them.
I once sneaked into the depot to steal stuff, but I knocked over a shelf. I tried to steady it, but the mess got bigger. When the crewmates arrived, I'd already spilled a huge vat of specialized cutting fluid solution. All the damage I caused in that crime will probably keep me behind bars for life. And yeah, the Woosters also saved my life last time at the cave, so I guess I owe them twice. I've said my piece. Now do what you gotta do.
I didn't expect a story like
It
that.
was very dangerous. You or Chen should have called me.
We should focus on the serious matter first. Sir, are you a crewmate of the Valley? Our camp regularly moves the injured to the hub base, so...
Nope. I'll be good at this place.
But this is a temporary shelter. The limited amenities might not be suitable for someone your age.
Your outfits tell me you're Endfielders. You have an engineer named Andre, right? Can you give him a call? Tell him that Staub wants to help at this camp.
Mr. Andre? Okay.
Thank you. I'll be waiting here.
Perhaps he's a friend
Oh,
of
we
Mr.
gotta
Andre.
go get the owl guy. Oh man, okay. Let's text him. Just text him. Yeah, just come over here. Just hurry up. Alright, make amethyst parts and put them in the backpack. Huh? What do we need to do? What? We need to put amethyst things in the backpack. Just, what do I just put? Oh, I know. I'll just put this because I have 8,000 of them. Yeah. What is it? Oh, see? Look. I don't know if the... what does Depot Bus even do? Area expansion. This place does need to become larger. This factory is like the smallest one that I have. Wait, what do I do? I gotta go to this guy.
Greetings.
Alright. Here's your 50 computer chips. Or your memory chips. Those weren't cheap, man. There's 50 DRAM chips right there. I just gave him 50 DRAM chips. In fact, we need to sell some of those.
All right, friends. Here comes the material.
Here comes the
We bought all
DDR5.
sorts of stuff. Building specs are quite different here. Look,
Those crates are full of
screws must start
DDR5.
like our diameter.
No wonder we couldn't find any spare parts to repair that trailer. See? Yeah.
We've got all the
Professional for
DDR5 in
jobs
those
like this.
boxes.
They can spot the problem instantly.
Ah, don't say that. At least we got everyone
Actually, it's
settled down.
DDR4. The
It's time
DDR5
to
is the
rebuild
blue
what
one.
was
The
destroyed.
blue one's harder to
All this
make.
tech will come in
So we're not
Andre,
making the
my man.
DDR5.
How did you make this trip? Just sending the parts and materials over would have been enough.
Whew. You silly old man. Now that you're around, I've brought these little buddies along.
These machines look pretty expensive.
Yeah, they are
Oh,
expensive.
well. What do you plan to do with them?
He's
I
like,
don't
these machines are
intend to
pretty
just sit
expensive.
around and wait for the
Yeah, those
people
RAM
to
chips
have
are
to
expensive.
fix and repair the bots. Since I got all this time on my hands, I can probably take an apprentice. A skilled assistant might be helpful later on.
An apprentice? Stop. Are you gonna make Dewey...
Well, just to lay it straight with you, the UW was quite disappointed in the brat. For 10 years, it was nothing but trouble. And every time he made an improvement, he would quickly lose patience and give up. There's no salvaging a hopeless wreck. But Dewey can still tell good from evil. I owe him for saving my life. So I guess he deserves another chance.
Okay. Here's your chance, Dewey.
If the old man isn't bothered by having a scoundrel apprentice, then I've got nothing to say. So yeah, I'll take the offer. Thank you.
Ha! To a good beginning. All right, let's end the chit-chat and start working already.
Whoa. This reminds me of Idleshire in Final Fantasy XIV. How you built that place back up. It was all in ruins, and you just over time, throughout the story, you just build it up. There's a new invasion alert. You know, I probably need to move this thing because this NPC is standing. He's like standing in it. Hold on. Let's move this. Can we move it behind him? I guess I'll move it like there. Oh, but now it's unpowered. Now everything that's connected to it's unpowered. Oh, this is the base defender aspect of the game. I don't really want... I don't know. There's so many different ways to play this game. It is clever of them to include it in the actual game, though, instead of like a limited FOMO event like the way Genshin did their different mini-games. Essentially, it's like mini-games. It's like other games within a game. What is this? Sanity usage permit. Okay, I did that. Oh wait, none of this stuff is powered now? Is that because I didn't... Oh, I unpowered all my stuff. I'm gonna have to make a run to the... You gotta be kidding me. Just by moving that one tower, I have to redo all the power cables again? Oh wait, okay, I think that fixed all of them. Yeah, that fixed all of them. That would have been terrible. Okay, well, what I'll do... The only thing I need to do in this game that remains is I just need to do this stuff. Oh, yeah.
I hate fools who like...
The thing that was missing was the character... Leveling up these characters. I needed the mushrooms. I found the mushrooms.
Don't worry about me, Professor. I'm definitely not working too hard.
And then... This guy... I guess we're gonna level him all the way up too.
The past and the present must become one.
Get this. That's what we're probably gonna get. This one. Yeah, we're gonna need these. Okay. This is the bottleneck. Hold up. So he's level 60, she's level 60.
Orignium.
I can make them both, I think, go to level
My diary
70?
is like the rings of an ancient tree.
Yeah, the bottleneck is
It's a
gonna be
record
that
of
thing. What
every
are the
lesson
talents,
I
though?
learned while growing up.
Oh. I can... Okay, hold on. Friday, she gets a new weapon.
My diary is like the rings of an ancient tree. It keeps a record of every...
Orignium will carve a path.
See, I feel like people who have experience playing MMOs have a good... They can transition to this game pretty easily. Or these type of games. Oh, wait. What is this? Oh, I need... Hold on. This? I haven't done this. Interesting.
Ready for a really long
Level
trip?
40. This is going to be super easy. There's a huge jump from like level 40 to level 60 enemies.
Watch your step, people. And I was hoping better luck for you. Please help, Mr. Dolly! Victory goes without saying.
Let's get double. Okay, that gives me 70. That's good. And then how close am I? I need 5 minutes. I gotta wait 5 minutes? Or I can just use the thing. I don't need to redo this again, though. I need to do the higher difficulty one.
I hate fools who like
I don't
to
need to
micromanage.
wait 5 minutes if I could just use that one item. What was I trying to do again? I was trying to level up this stuff. Yeah, let's get...
My diary is like the rings of an ancient tree.
Let's get
It
these
keeps
up.
a record of every lesson I learned while
Oh, I
growing
need
up.
more. Okay, I do need to run it again. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see. Does Gilberta
looky
have this
here.
stuff maxed out? She isn't even maxed out. So wait, I need to farm a lot more of these things then.
Looking for me?
Is Levitain? Nobody is level... Okay, they're only level 4. So we're gonna run this thing then. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I need... Okay, wait. 60... Fixed. No, I want to... Oh, yeah, I want to get the lower level one. This one, yeah.
Do what you must, Professor.
Alright, we're gonna... This is gonna be on the higher difficulty level. So this is like the level 60 one. Which should... Well, this one will give more rewards. And it's actually more in line with the actual characters.
Cozy up with gravity!
Man, that guy's blocking everything. Just wasting time. He's playing like a turtle. He's turtling. Break his guard.
No second chance.
There.
Best thing I've done today.
How do you
Handle
increase
that fight
exploration level? Yeah, you just gotta keep playing through the main scenario. You just play through the main scenario until you get to the point where you have to, you basically, you hit a wall where it doesn't let you advance until you hit a certain rank, and then at that point you start doing what I'm doing here, where you just spend these things to collect the materials you need. It's best to do the one that you need when you need to level a certain aspect of their characters. Cause see, that just gave me a bunch of authority level.
I hate fools who like
Oh, you're
to
talking about
micromanage.
exploration level. Exploration
Oh,
level is
goodness, you're
similar.
not
You
like
just keep playing through the game. I didn't realize they were gonna need more of these.
So, how's that for my real power?
Let me see. I guess I'll take hers to level 5. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I can see how this thing is gonna be key to, like, that's a key item to have to farm.
Ciao! Wanna head out?
Okay, so she's level 5 also. Yeah, I'm gonna need more of that, but I also need to get more of this thing. So I need to go, apparently I need to go over here and get this item. I need to go to the final zone of chapter 1. I don't even know how to get over there. Maybe, oh, does this help? Ooh, that zip line helps a lot. Yeah, I didn't do much exploration in the final zone. I really should spend some time to go through this. I just kind of rushed through it last weekend, knowing that Code Vein 2 was coming. Actually, I don't even need to pick those up. Hold on, what is the mining? There's a lot of... Man, I need more of the purple. I see so much blue, but I understand why. At some point, I'm going to have to do a big, long relay run. We'll probably do that this weekend if we're going to stream this weekend. The gacha mechanics, does it feel predatory, or they give you... Okay, what I told them, I told the developers in a survey, I said that the game is very generous at the start, but most other competing games are the same way. What remains to be seen is, will it be feasible for people who are actively playing the game normally to be able to accumulate the resources to pull on the characters they want without having to spend money, or without having to spend significant amounts of money, because that is what will ultimately make or break this game. The factory thing, at first I thought the factory builder elements will be the thing that makes or breaks the game, and somewhere that still feels kind of true, but at the same time, I feel like the game kind of makes that easier as you go, because it gives you the blueprints to be able to craft what you need. So in a the main thing is you just gotta treat it like you're playing. The way I see it, you gotta treat this game like you're playing Genshin Impact, Factorio, StarCraft without the PvP element. And there's a couple of other games. Tower Defender. This game's got Tower Defender. It's got like zipline build. You have deliveries in this game like you're playing Death Stranding. I mean, you got Death Stranding, Genshin, Factorio, StarCraft, and maybe at some point they're gonna introduce Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there's gonna be like so many different games in this one game that it can be overwhelming to new people who are not familiar with one or more of those genres. You know, like, someone might be familiar with gacha games, But if they're not familiar with Factorio or StarCraft or Death Stranding, like, I don't know what to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Like, good luck, or just don't play the game. Whoa, this is a level. Okay, I've never seen this guy. Oh. Go. Okay. Wombo combo. I don't even know if there's a reason to do the weekly though. Like, I thought there was like weekly boss things. I haven't bothered to fight them yet because I haven't really ran into the need to have to fight them. Achievement unlocked. Ooh. Oh man, she got hit. Oh, he's doing his thing. I don't have the skill point. Perfect dodge. But yeah, I would say like right now it's pretty easy. The gacha system is super easy. Like, just case in point, look how many resources I got from just playing the game. And I already have Levitain. So, and the only thing that I bought was the $5 a month login every day, get 200 Euro barrels, plus the battle pass. So, yeah, if you play the game hardcore, now granted, I'm already authority level 48. I'm approaching authority level 50. So I've been playing this game pretty hardcore. If I played it more, I would have been able to get 50. Like, if I wanted to, I could get 50 right now. I could just use the sanity points over and over again and get level 50, like literally right now. But I don't see the need to do that. So, but yeah, someone like me approaching adventure rank 50. And I already have this many resources after already pulling Levitain. I pulled Levitain, and it was all this has been on stream. Like, the whole record is on stream. Like, the only thing that I've done off stream is log in to grab the daily and then log out. So I haven't done any play sessions off stream. So really the whole, like, the gacha pull, everything that I've done has everyone's seen. Like, everybody saw me pull Levitain on what was it, Saturday, and I pulled Gilberta in the previous stream, like day 1, or what was it, day 2 or day 3, I pulled Gilberta. So I literally pulled her on Levitain's banner very early. So I consider that just pure luck. Like, the whole goal was get Levitain. That's it. Get Levitain. Who cares? Whatever happens, happens. Like, whoever else we get, whoever shows up, good job. They just show up. So Gilberta showed up, and then we pulled Last Rite. I pulled Last Rite. On the way to Levitain, we pulled Last Rite, and then I had to farm like 500 Euro barrels to get Levitain to finalize the thing, and then it was a done deal. Then we did insane weapon pulls, and everybody saw the weapon pulls, which were probably way more impressive than the gacha pulls. You think monthly passes are pretty good and reasonable? Yeah, I mean, that's how I've always operated with gacha games. Like, if I'm gonna play a gacha game hardcore, like if I know I'm actively playing the game, I am going to pay the $5. $5 for 30 days is not a lot of money. I mean, we can do the math, guys. 5 divided by 30 days. That's 16 cents a day. 16 cents a day. That's not a lot of money. That is totally not a lot of money. Now I have to preface, I did also buy the Battle Pass because I think the Battle Pass is totally worth it if you're playing the game hardcore. The reason why the Battle Pass... Where is the Battle Pass? I don't even remember what's the button to show you guys. That's not the Battle Pass. Was it F6? Yeah. So I did pay $10 for this red battle pass down here. Now, again, is this worth it? Now you have to make that decision. But here, the way I see it is if I know I'm going to commit to play this game for 30 days, for the next 30 days, starting from like a week ago, so now I have 20 days remaining, or 21 or whatever, like, if I know I'm going to be logging in every single day for like that 30-day period, it's worth getting this, especially when the game is brand new. Especially when the game is brand new. The reason why it's worth spending the $10. Now I sound like a sales guy. I feel like I sound like a sales guy trying to sell people on this game. But seriously though, if I know I'm going to play the game for 30 days, for 1 month, and when the game is brand new, and I want to build a bunch of characters because the game is tossing characters at you left and right, and you're going to try them out, and you're going to want to build some of them, it is totally reasonable to buy the Battle Pass because you already committed to 30 days, and you're going to build all these brand new characters. Why not use the Battle Pass to make it much, much easier to build the characters faster than having to build them naturally over a longer period of time? See, that again, the whole thing about spending money on a free-to-play game is time versus money. Are you okay with like stretching things out over a vast period of time? You can totally achieve the exact same results by going free to play. Now it'll take a lot longer, paying $5 plus $10, so basically paying $15 for 1 month. Actually, I shouldn't say 1 month, because the Battle Pass is good for like 50 days. So it's $10 for 50 days plus the $5 for 30 days for the login thing. So it's you equate that at the end of the day, that's not a whole lot of money compared to buying a full price game up front, where this game, regardless of whether you pay for this or not, you're still getting the full package. You're still getting the entire game. So, I mean, to me, like my method is, if I know I'm gonna play the game hardcore, I'm gonna spend the $5 for the login bonus for the next 30 days, and I'm also gonna buy the Battle Pass because the Battle Pass essentially gives me it basically lets me pick whatever high rarity weapon I want from the Battle Pass. In that case, where is it? At level 20, right here. Weapon Supply Awakening. I get to choose whatever one of these. I chose this one. I chose this one because this is recommended for Gilberta, and I pulled Gilberta very, very early on. So that's why I chose this one. But then you have the other Battle Pass. At level 40, I will get another guaranteed weapon supply. So, and that's coming up real soon because I'm only at 37 already. So it's like at 40, I'll get another one. Plus these. So, you know, to me, it's worth it. Not everyone will agree on the Battle Pass, but what is totally worth it is the $5 thing. That thing literally multiplies your gacha pulls by almost 2x. It's insane. So that's insane value. It's just the reason why people don't see it as insane value is because it stretches the value over 30 days instead of giving you like instant gratification, if that makes sense. So the whales will spend money, they'll spend the big dollars because they want the rewards immediately versus just like playing the game naturally. But to me, I see that as no different from somebody who goes and like buys a max level character in WoW and they've never played. Like, why would you even bother? You don't even know how to play the game. You go and buy a max level character. You don't even know how to do the raid fights. Like, what? Without learning how to play the game naturally? Like, it defeats the purpose of even playing the game at that point. She clipped through that? That's funny. And it still worked. Okay, anyway. I don't even remember why we came over here to collect the mushrooms. Or the something. Like, there was something I needed for these characters to level up their talent abilities. I think we were working on... Hold up. So this is the... This is the skill? This is the attack? This is the skill? This is the combo? This is the ult? Or something like that. Alright, well, anyway.
Got a few tips to get a better view of the
Upgrade
road.
this.
Broaden your
Now go do
horizons.
this.
Learn from the
Enter this. Do this. Do that. Do... Yeah. So, okay, 100. We need more of these. Enter in. It says I don't have enough sanity. It's whatever. Just go in. There's just a lot of stuff. The only thing I will tell you is that there's a ton of things you have to, like, go through to understand how to play the game. And some people won't like that. Because there's way more that you have to learn to play this game effectively compared to another gacha game, like an older gacha game. Like Genshin Impact is way easier to pick up and play than this. For character progression. Character progression in this game is way more complicated. Mainly because of the factory simulator. It's also more rewarding though in that regard, because it's more challenging. And I will say, as someone who never played Factorio or any of those factory simulators, I do feel like once I master the factory system and I see the assembly line and everything's going good, there is some satisfaction in seeing everything come together and just work. Wait, she just did the Thanos snap and that guy like died?
We've done it.
Why can't she just do that normally? That would have saved them a ton of time. Wait, how many of these? Okay, I have one of these. Let's do two of these, I guess. $100 of these. I think I'm going to need more.
Time to fight.
We'll see this through.
I like that you can switch characters, so you're not stuck playing as one character the whole time. I like that this game uses Vulkan, which means if the developers have any aspiration of ever bringing this game to Linux, it wouldn't be too hard to port this game to Linux because the default API for the render is Vulkan, which is amazing. I can't think of any other gacha game that I've ever played that uses Vulkan for their backend for the main API. DirectX 11 is the fallback for people with like old graphics cards. She basically plays like a Shadow Priest from World of Warcraft. She has that Mind Flay beam. Look at that Mind Flay. Boom! Oh, Mind Flay. Do you see that? So satisfying. Shit, we got Shadow Priest. We got Shadow Priest from WoW. I don't know what she is. She's like, I don't know, Dark Knight or something. And Kazuya from Genshin. And then we got Dark Mask. Okay, I think I have... Okay, that's a decent amount for now. I've already played Where Winds Meet. I just didn't stream it. It's okay. I don't know, like... it's a good game. It's a good game, but I like games like this where there's like other party members in the actual battle group. I think Where Winds Meet is more like it's your character doing everything, which is cool. But I don't know, for those type of games, I would probably rather play something like Neo.
Look there. Maybe there's a surprise waiting for us.
Wait, what is she saying? There's a surprise over here. Oh, there's a surprise!
Just
What?
as unreliable as my memories.
So look over there. There's a surprise. Okay. Maybe I'll listen to them more often. Alright, what do I need to do? I need to do one more thing. Level up an operator, level up a weapon, assemble one gear. Okay, let's make a let's do a gear. There we go. Authority level 49. Barely even trying here.
Looking for me?
It says I need to level up a character one time.
Still waiting for something.
So let's grab a level 60 and let's level them up. Let's level them up to level... Oh, I don't have enough material. Wait, I really don't have enough material?
Still waiting for something.
I can get them to level 69? What? I was sure I had... Wait a minute, is that really? Is that for real? Oh, wow. We need more material. Okay. So in that case...
Looking for me?
We're gonna need... Let's go to the spaceship. Star Trek time. Beam us up. Go to the spaceship or in orbit. We're going in orbit. This game is a sci-fi game. Let's get on the Durandal from Xenosaga 1. Now I'm in the spaceship. Sci-fi. Let's go check the area. Let's see who's working right now. Who's on shift? Catcher's on shift. How's it going, man?
You're looking for me, Enman? Well, I got 30 minutes before 5 back-to-back sessions of sword fighting, and I'll be free for the rest of
Man,
the
these
time.
guys work like they work for Google or something. He's like, he's on the job and he's like, in 30 minutes I'm gonna go do some sword fighting sessions. Man, what is this? This ain't no Google. What are we doing here, people? Like, what? These people work for Google style. Hold up. This is, that only gives them like 6%. Who else is supposed to be in here? Who works here? Oh. Chen and Wolf. They're on break or they're resting or something? They're like on break for the next... She's on break for like 3 hours. So she probably went somewhere and is running an errand. This guy's like working from home or some whatever, you know, like... Alright, well the reason why I came here is because I need these things for leveling up. But see, this is the cool thing about this game, dude. Like, in this game, these guys are on staff. They're working. They're going to get the stuff. It's going to take about 30 hours to complete the job. So let's crank this up. Let's do quantity 20. This is going to do like 60 hours of workload. So you basically generate your own like stuff. It's all like base resource management. Oh, this is the greenhouse. So we got some people working here growing stuff. Can I upgrade this place? No, not yet. We got 2 people working here. One character is resting. So she probably went to sleep. 7 hours and 40 minutes. And then she is on shift right now. Okay. That's cool. We're gonna need a lot more of these, and I think... wait, what is this for? Okay, this is used to level the operator skill from 6 to 4. I need a lot of these. And then this is just level 4. So I need more of this thing than I need that thing. So that. And then we're still growing... Well... I need this. Promotes level 40s. Yeah, I guess we'll get another one of these. And then in here we probably need another one of these. Yeah. So once we level up the cabin, we hire a 3rd employee, we can get more capacity. Ananta is going to be similar to this game, except Ananta is not going to be... It's not going to be gacha based, it's going to be like in-game... It's going to be like GTA Online. But yeah. This game is like a sneak peek to Ananta though, and it's free to play, so if If you want to know what Ananta is going to be like, I would recommend trying this game out, because I'm pretty sure Ananta is going to have similar systems. We got 3 people in here. Levitain.
Here, it's yours. Thanks for keeping me on your mind. Huh? Being able to remember someone you care about is gift enough?
Wow, okay. Let me see. So who... Hold up.
Why are you idling here? Come on.
No. No, okay. I don't... She gave me, like, something? I don't even know what the item was. Can I give it to her?
I can do this.
I didn't read what the item was. That's like 1%. This is nothing? Okay, no. Okay, never mind. Because that was the other thing too, is like give someone a gift and you get your dailies done. This is used to level the operators from level 61 to 90. So this is also needed. Alright, let's increase this to 30. So that's gonna be 30 hours. Manufacturing load. These 2 characters are okay, yeah, they need a break. So Arknight is good. She's good for the next shift. These 2 need to take a break.
I can do this. It's just one.
You need to go on break. You've been working a double shift. She needs to go on break also.
Why are you idling here?
You can tell with her responses, she sounds very like testy. Go take a break. Quit complaining. Okay. So we checked the greenhouse.
Wow. This is new. No tasks.
Oh, this gives her 15%. Nature and culture. But hold on. I might give that to her, but I need to see if that gives her 15%. Look, they're leaving. I like how they're just leaving. You tell them to go and they're leaving. Look at that. They're like, I'm done. I'm going shopping. This game, dude. This is what I mean by this is a quality game. It has like all this random stuff. You think about it's like, oh, where is she going? Hold up. Come over here.
After I told Antal that I didn't like his math games.
She doesn't like Antal's math games. That's 0%. 6%. 6%. I had a 15% on what's her name. I'm just gonna give her the other one then. Oh, wait, hold up, Panda.
Wait again. Please, take better care of your health.
Panda, what are you doing? Hold up. I might have something for you. 0? He doesn't want that. He doesn't want this. He thinks this stuff's trash. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Alright, well, whatever. See, this is the crew, man. This is the crew. This is Power Rangers in space right here. This is straight up Power Rangers in space. This is either Power Rangers in space or space cases. For real. This is literally the Astro Mega Ship. Check this out. That's what I'm talking about. This is a spaceship. This is how you make a spaceship.
Since your awakening,
not that thing that was in Starfield. Nobody cared about that thing in Starfield. This is a spaceship. This is the real deal. Oh yeah, Perlica's been working by herself the whole time. But she just works from home all the time. I don't even know if she's even working sometimes. Lifestyle, this one gives her 6%. 6%. 6% is better than 1%. But that one girl was like 15%. Oh, these people, look at them resting. Look at them resting. Hey, you don't have to stand up.
It's not easy working with the other operators. The way of the pack and my solitary nature aren't for everyone. But if you want me in line, I'll adapt.
Hold on, what does he want? Oh, 7%? This one does do nature and creative, though. Yeah, you can have it.
For me. Grazie. I'll put it to good use.
I'm giving this to him because I think I might actually use this character in the Levitain team. Oh wait, Chen has something to give.
Is but a gentle token of heartfelt sincerity. That's how the saying goes. But if someone's truly sincere, no gift will be fitting enough. Well, I just hope you'll like this one, Endman.
What did I get? Okay, I'll take it. Fire buckle powder. Hey, it's Antal. Hold up.
Inspect your weaponry, Endman.
See, this is like Star Trek right now.
The only issue I see is the wearing
They're on
down
the
of certain
they're on the
components.
Star Trek
Replacing a
Voyager.
single precision
I don't know.
iridium component will fix it. This repair job won't be much trouble. I offer this service for every individual in.
Hold up, let me see. Do I have something for him? I don't have anything that this guy likes. This guy said it's mind honing and creative. So this guy's a content creator. Okay, so I guess, yeah, I don't have anything for him. I need to go and get like a capture card or something to give him. Or a camera or something like that. Alright, I guess, I think that's it. I think we gave the item that was needed. Let's go to the bridge. The planet. The planet. Who's working the bridge? Zahi, what's going on?
Validating data, analyzing syntax,
Hold up. She doesn't like this thing. Never mind. I'm trying to figure out. I need to offload these. I've got way too much stuff in my inventory.
Be careful when walking around each young.
Hold on. Wait, 70%? Wait, what? 70%? What is this thing? Fine arts and lifestyle. But it says she likes lifestyle and nature. Hold on. 70% though.
I just love collecting lipsticks of all sorts of colors and flavors. I can't help.
64. Okay, I don't have anything for her. Alright, whatever. I gave Wolfguard that Yu-Gi-Oh card or whatever that thing was. I might give her this thing, but you know what?
Be careful when walking
Now that
around
I
each
know,
young,
okay.
Professor.
I don't know if what they like changes on a daily basis, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow because that will. I don't want to give all the gifts on one day. And this is where experience from playing gacha games comes into play. Because if I give her that gift now, tomorrow I can't use the gift giving. See, look, the gift giving was a daily. That gives me 40 points. So now, bam, that's my dailies. Now I'm completely done with my dailies. And that gives me these. What is this? Sanity Extractor. And look at that. I just need to go 2 more times on the battle pass to get my weapon supply. This is what is this? This is weapon pattern. I'm not sure what that does, but okay, that's cool. Okay, I have one of these. It goes all the way to 60. 41 days and 16 hours remaining. I am like blazing through this battle pass. I'm just blazing through the game. Like 41 days remaining and I'm already like almost 2/3 done with the battle pass. But that's because I'm trying to test the limit of the system. I want to see like how generous is the game at giving me the in-game currency just from playing the game naturally to do the pulls. Right now, let me calculate the total number of pulls I'm capable of doing right now on the gacha system. So currently I have 56, and what is this? 10, 15 plus 23, 25. So that is, divide that by 500. So that's like 26 plus 56. So 82. 82 pulls. Plus, we got like 6 more here. Wait, what? Oh, I gotta use these up. I have 9 days to use these before they expire. So, I could just toss these on the Levitain banner. I don't really care. The Levitain banner doesn't matter to me anymore because I already have Levitain. But because these expire, you might as well just use them. Because you never know, man. It's like this is where it's like, That's like lottery style right there. Like you don't expect to get anything, and this is just like throw it away and see what happens. Just throw it in there and see what happens. So those would be like 2 pulls right there. These 4 more, so 4 in addition to this. 4, whoops, 82, whoops, hold on, oh, we don't have numlock on. 82 plus, oh, well, duh, that's like, so 88. So basically, right now, 56, and we're at 60. So see right here on the left, where it says 60 attempts to a 6-star character, it's one of these 5. 60 attempts, and I'm currently at 56 out of 60. So I literally only need 4 more of these to 100% guarantee me one of these 5 characters. Now, I don't have control of which character I can select. That is the whole nature of the random chance, aka the whole gacha system. But there's a chance that I will get one of these characters on the way to 60 pulls. I've got 56 already saved up. That isn't even counting this other currency here that I've got over here. See, so yeah, I feel like at least right now the game seems like it appears generous, but like I told the developers, we will know, we will discover the truth of this after the main story is done. Like after I complete the main story, because I haven't done the main story yet. I mean, I've done the main story, but I haven't done like the main story, chapter 2. Chapter 2, right there. There's another one of these. So it's like I'm just playing along. I'm getting more of these things. So you can see these quest rewards down here. There's all this stuff. I mean, right there, bam, right there. I do this one quest, bam, 3 more wishes right there. So that'll bump me up to 59. That means I'll just need 1 more, and I already get another character. See what I mean? So, but I would say I'm playing the game pretty hardcore. Like, I'm playing the game a lot. So if you're playing the game at a slower pace, eventually you'll get to the same point where I am. But to me, it seems like it is a decent system. It's just only time will tell. Yeah, Nanta's not a gacha. It is a game where you're gonna get in-game outfits and things like that through paying money, similar to Where Winds Meet. It's gonna be like Where Winds Meet. It's gonna be like this game combined with Where Winds Meet.
Looking for me?
Okay, I need to figure out. Do I now have what I need to level her thing here? Or do I even want to level her thing here? I could get her to max rank 6. Or I could just leave her at 5 and get someone else to 5 to match her. Oh yeah, we were working on Gilberta, that's right.
Got a few tips to get a better view of the road.
I tend to prefer to level my characters. I like to evenly distribute my characters. I don't like to dump all my resources into one character. Because what happens when you're in a situation where that one character is not the optimal choice? You know what I'm saying? So I like to build them up. I like to build like 4 to 8 characters.
I recognize this feeling.
So that I have a decent spread for the content.
I recognize this feeling.
So I'm gonna take them all to rank 5 for now, and we'll stop there. Eventually I'm gonna take them to rank 7 once we get into endgame. But I'm not even in endgame yet. Like, that's the thing. Oh, perfect. I got all 4 of them to rank 5 right before running out of that whatever material. Yeah, rank 5. Everybody's rank 5.
Still waiting for something?
Looky here.
Let's see.
Looking for me.
Still waiting for something?
60, 60. All the weapons are 60. Can this
Looking
weapons
for
be
me?
leveled up?
Do you finally remember something?
This is max? Oh, wait. Oh. Wait, it can be tuned. I need this, though. Rare mining. Oh, boy. Heavy cast die material. AIC trading. Protocol, space, weapon tune. Oh, okay. We'll do that tomorrow. I'm not gonna really change the weapon right now. Technically, I could take the weapon to level 70, but I don't really want to right now. Let's get the characters and their talent abilities up first.
Orignium will carve a path for it.
I can do this tomorrow, because I don't want to burn out my... Yeah, I'll just do this tomorrow. Okay, we've been live for like 3 hours. I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to play Code Vein. Well, I'm gonna switch to Code Vein now. So let's do that. Whoops. Let me exit out of this game.
Arknights.
Why does it take so long to exit? There we go. Alright, let's try Code Vein 2 briefly here. There's not a lot of time left on the stream. I'm gonna have to end the stream real soon. Not today. We will do the gacha system again, probably this weekend, but not right now. I'm gonna wait until I can get to like 60 on that standard banner. I need what, 4 more? Or no, 7 more? What was I at? 50? Oh, I was at 56. Yeah, I need 4 more. I just need to do a couple more quests, and then I can do it. For this game, I need this thing. Is it even showing up? Hold up, what happened? Yeah, it's there. This one's gonna be DirectX 12. I can see it right now. Although I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Maybe the overlay is causing a problem? I mean, I can do it this way. I can do it this way. This is the less efficient way to do it, though. I don't know what happened to the game capture, but anyway. Okay, so Code Vein 2. This is it running on Strix Halo. 50, what is this, 57? We're just short of 60, unfortunately. So I would have to mess with the settings are already pretty low. Graphic settings, 4K, TSR, 40% render scale. And we're not able to get at 40% of 4K. So that's definitely less than, that's higher than 1080p though, right? That's like, let me see. 0.4 times 2160. Oh no, that's sub 1080. Isn't it? That's 864p, although it's I'm only taking one of the dimensions, so I thought 25% render skill was 1080p. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, wait. Yeah, it's 25%. So this is definitely more than 1080p, but still. Oh wow, everything is already on the low settings. So what I can tell you guys, I did test this earlier off stream and it was above 60 while I was playing without streaming. So the reason why it's dipping below 60 now with these, and these were the settings that I got it to run at above 60. The reason why it's dipping is because it's Unreal Engine 5 and we are streaming the game. We're dual encoding the game. So I'm recording it to my SSD and I'm also streaming it to YouTube. So that plus the fact that it's UE5. I've seen games like that are hard to run do that. They basically take a performance hit when trying to like capture the game at the same time. And I can tell right now this game with the settings on low looks very different from the settings maxed out. You guys can see how Unreal Engine 5 really changes the look and feel of a game when your game, like, you're having to turn a lot of the settings down. Oh, I don't even think I've ever been in here before. Like, look at how this looks. The game does have FS4. Yeah, this is Strix Halo, so that's not going to be available to me. So it looks like I have TSR. I don't know why it has DLSS as an option. Like, why am I able to select this? Is this even going to work, or is this going to crash the game? I don't even want to go there, man. Like, I don't want to try to like crash the game with try to turn DLSS on a. Okay, let's just do FSR. Low, everything low. See if that actually fixes it. Surprisingly, it changed the global illumination significantly. Why is this room way better lit all of a sudden? From changing to FSR from TSR. Typically, TSR is one of the best upscalers from Epic Games. I don't know what happened. Like, all I did was turn on FSR and all of a sudden the game looks like this. It's still, I mean, it doesn't run any better though. This is why Unreal Engine does not have a very good track record. It's fine if you have very, very high-end hardware. It struggles when you don't have very, very high-end hardware. Now, Strix Halo, obviously, you know, it is an APU at the end of the day. I've never even been over here. I didn't even know they had these weird, like, there's like a hospital bed in here with a, what do they call this? It's like the grandfather clock or whatever, whatever the old school clock was called, but yeah. That's cool. You can see the aliasing as the character moves. Look at the wall. Look at the part where the alias between the character and the wall behind the character. You can see that. With VRR, 56 FPS is actually not too bad. With variable refresh.
I sell tools. Pick your poison.
This game does have kind of a strange aesthetic.
Forget it.
Compared to the first game. I don't know why they do that with the stairs. It's like your character doesn't get low enough to the... or the camera doesn't stay high enough from the ground when you're going downstairs. Alright, let's just see how it runs in the open world, and then that'll probably be where I end the stream. But you can see why Code Vein 2 is a little underwhelming to me.
Everything ready?
Alright, we're down in the 40s now. I mean, I can work on improving the frame rate if I really want to. Like, let's do this. I can. Oh, I can't. Never mind. Because I'm playing it in borderless. I mean, I guess I could make it full screen and then mess with it. Oh, it's doing that weird thing that happens with FSR when you have global illumination set sometimes. I can see the weird, like, flicker lighting happening. If I change it to TSR, watch this. That goes away with TSR. Yeah, wow, that's weird. All of a sudden, the lighting is not bad out here with TSR all of a sudden. So, I don't know. Personally, I only really want to use FSR if it's FSR 3 or FSR 4. I am assuming it's using FSR 2 without it's explicitly stating FSR 3 or 4. It might, for all we know, it could even be FSR 1, although I highly doubt that. It's probably FSR 2. And in that scenario, I would rather use TSR if it's an Unreal Engine game, because TSR is the Unreal Engine temporal-based upscaler, and it is a very good upscaler. It provides a relatively stable image. And remember, this is at 40% resolution scale. This is 40% of 4K. And we are unfortunately unable to get it to stay around 60. I'd have to go to windowed mode and like drop it to 1080p just to kind of show what that looks like. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's go windowed, and we're going to drop it to 1080p resolution. Okay. So now everything's going to be gigantic. But let me see. We had to do a similar thing with another game last year on this system. Now the thing is gigantic, the overlay. But you guys can see, okay, this is the game running at 1080p. 1080p. And we're doing, okay, look, now let's try, well, I don't think we have a lot of leeway here to change settings. Wait, this is 1080p with 40% resolution scale, though. Let's do 1080p, 100% resolution scale. So now it's true 1080p. True 1080p does about basically... Wow. Okay, it's basically the same performance of 40% 4K? Huh. Okay, what about like 85% of 1080p? We're getting close, sort of. $75%? Okay, so 75% resolution, still kind of falls. I bet inside it probably doesn't. Yeah, see, like we go inside, and now it's like really good. So I don't know. Yeah, outside the draw distance becomes harder for the Strix Halo, for the Radeon 8060S. It struggles with this game. So now I see why Fake Frames and the others, they were reporting that this game is like, it's like super hard to run. Yesterday I was saying, yeah, this game's easy to run. No. This game is actually pretty hard to run if you're on mid-range hardware. Because this is 8060S, right? 8060, it's like a 60 class GPU. So it's like, what is this? This is similar to... What is this similar to? This is like a 4060 Ti. So this is similar to what you would get if you were on 4060 Ti. The thing about those, though, is you do have access to the DLSS. Now, I guess I could, now that I think about it, I could leverage... Oh, that's what we're doing. What about 70%? It's like it's so close. It's tough trying to get the open world in a rainstorm to like stay above 60, but I think this is kind of be the best we can do. I don't like to use dynamic resolution, or I don't like to render scale on 1080p because I think that 1080p just doesn't have enough pixel data. So now image quality, okay, well that might actually do it. Yeah, that does seem to be able to do it. Nope, it still kind of dips. But I would say this is mostly like as far as low as I would go. It does not have XeSS, no. It has FSR, TSR, DLSS. Typical Japanese game. Japanese games typically have, if they're made in Unreal Engine, they have TSR, because that comes with Unreal Engine 5. And they have FSR and they have DLSS. Rarely, I can't even... I'm trying to think of a Japanese game that has XeSS in it. Oh, duh, Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds has XeSS, but that's like a AAA game. This ain't no AAA game. This is like Bandai Namco's side, like their AA game. This is basically Bandai Namco saying, hey, why don't we make Dark Souls or Elden Ring without From Software? That's effectively what the first Code Vein was. Code Vein 1 was Bandai Namco attempting to make their own form of Dark Souls that everyone ended up calling Anime Souls without the help of From Software. And Code Vein was what you got. That's what they came up with. Code Vein 2 is a very similar thing. Code Vein 2 is basically, hey, let's make Elden Ring without From Software. So this is Elden Ring without Miyazaki and without From Software. It's just it's the publisher making the game themselves. And this is what they came up with. Imagine if this was your Elden Ring.
I'll be right there.
Can you inject FSR 4? I mean, does that even work with a unified architecture GPU that isn't even really on any sort of approved list of anything? Most games, when I boot up the game on Strix Halo, they don't even know what this is. They basically, like, when I booted up Arknights Endfield told me that they recommend that I run the game on very low settings because they're like, you're going to overload your GPU and it's going to explode. Like, the game literally gave me this big warning message when I tried to change the settings because they defaulted my game to very low settings on Strix Halo. And I'm like, that's because the game doesn't know what this GPU is. They don't know that it's a unified APU. They think that it's some kind of like weak sauce integrated graphics when it's the most powerful integrated graphics on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they don't even know what they're doing. So I don't even know if injecting FSR 4 is even going to do anything besides cause the game to crash. Because the game doesn't even really know what it's dealing with from the render point. It just knows that it's some kind of like generic GPU system. I mean, look, I'll prove it to you right now. The game is so confused. Look at this. Hold on. The game is so confused. It doesn't know that the graphics card that I have cannot do DLSS. Yet it exposes the DLSS menu to me. Normally, if a game knows you have a Radeon graphics card, it is not going to show you the DLSS menu, or it'll have it grayed out, so you cannot select it. But it's literally showing me the DLSS stuff because it doesn't have any idea what sort of graphics system I'm using. Like, so I don't think that's gonna work.
Did you find something?
Yeah, that is the power of Strix Halo. It doesn't know what it's dealing with. This is awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think this game is not bad. It's just, it's coming out at a bad time. It's too close to Arknights Endfield. Arknights Endfield is the better game. Let's be honest. Endfield is much better than this game. It's a higher quality game. It had a much higher budget. It probably had like 5 times the amount of economic resources and 10 times the staff working on it versus the amount of people that worked on this game. So it's unfortunate that Code Vein 2, it's wedged between Arknights Endfield, one of the best games from January, and then Neo 3. Neo 3 is going to like stomp all over this game when it comes out next week. So it's like this game is basically sandwiched between Arknights Endfield and Neo 3, and it's super unfortunate. The last time this happened was, I think, what was that game? Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West came out. Everyone forgot about it because Elden Ring came out, and it's like, and then the other game that kind of like also sort of eclipsed it was Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. That basically eclipsed it as well. So it, I mean, you know, it was kind of screwed. This game is screwed over in a similar scenario. It's like Enfield, and then this game comes out, and then no rest. Neo 3 comes out. Neo 3's demo goes live. Literally, this is the first day that this game is officially... No, actually, no, that's not true. Wait, yeah. Right now, the game is available now. For those who didn't pre-order it, or those who bought, like, the base game, they're able to play this game now. I've been able to play this game since Monday, because I pre-ordered the deluxe version of the game. So I got, like, 72 hours of early access, or I guess advanced access, as Steam calls it, for the game. And, you know, we streamed it yesterday for, like, I think 2.5 to 3 hours, and it's okay. I mean, it's kind of a mediocre game. Like, if I had to give it a number without playing any more of it, it feels like at best a 7 out of 10. You know, 6.5, 7 out of 10, somewhere out of there. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Whereas Enfield feels like an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. I think Enfield is hindered by way too many subsystems, way too many in-game currencies. The gacha's pretty good, at least from what I've experienced so far. But there's just too much stuff in that game. Like, it's all in your face all at once, and that hurts the game, from my point of view. That game could have easily been a 9. It has the polish to be a 9. But it's an 8 because it has just too much random stuff just in your face. As a new player, it's too overwhelming. So that game, the score gets hurt because of quantity. This game gets hurt because of, like, lack of quantity. I don't know. Like, it's just, like, look at this. This is like an empty place. There's like nothing around. There's low density of things to see or do. I mean, there's like, okay, we can go over there. There's some structures that you can see in the background. Looks like there's some buildings over there. That thing looks like the hand of a deer from Lords of the Fallen on the mountain cliff over there. So, I mean, there's stuff. It looks like it's cool, but it's like no density. There's like nothing around. It's kind of bland. It's post-apocalyptic. Not everybody likes post-apocalyptic. I wish they wouldn't have gone with that theme. I wish they would have done something different. It worked in the first game, because in the first game, everybody was a vampire. You know, like that one song, "The world is a vampire." Like, in the first game, you're a vampire. In this game, I don't know what you are. You're like some kind of person who was in a coffin for like 1,000 years, and you woke up, and everyone's saying that they're hunters that use the power of the Revenants, but the Revenants were the vampires from the first game. So it's like, I don't know. I'd rather be a vampire in the first game than whatever you're supposed to be in this game. You're like a silent protagonist hunter thing who doesn't know what's going on. Typical main character, main cast. MC has amnesia. You have amnesia. Like, if that, it's not an overused trope. So we got amnesia. There's like random things I'm looting right now. I don't even know what this stuff's for, but I'm just gonna grab it because I play a lot of Monster Hunter, and when I see stuff on the ground, I just grab it. Is this an enemy or is this a merchant?
Welcome. Anything you want?
Oh, okay. He's a merchant apparently. And I can't afford any of these things. He's got some good stuff, though. He's got some stuff.
Come again!
Okay.
Finished replenishing our supplies?
So, like I said, it's a cool game. If I didn't have anything else to play, like if I wasn't playing Enfield, if Neo 3 wasn't about to come out, I probably would have forced myself to play through this game. But unfortunately, it's one of those things where the game's coming out way too close to other games, and those other games just are objectively better games. But anyway. Alright, well, that was how to get this game playable. You basically got to play it at 1080p with 60% resolution scale, which is for Strix Halo, which is typical of Unreal Engine 5. Very typical of Unreal Engine 5. This is why Unreal Engine 5 does not have a good reputation among gamers. Even enthusiasts kind of roll their eyes when they hear a game is launching and it's using Unreal Engine 5. At this point, I can't wait for UE6. Unreal Engine 6 can't get here fast enough, man. But that's gonna come out with PS6. What is this? Is this something? Like, what is that? Alright. Okay, let's fast travel back. Not here, let's fast travel this. That's pretty much it. I mean, we can crank the graphic settings. Not that it'll really do a whole... I mean, it will do something. Let's see. Just put everything on medium, see what that does. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't feel as smooth. I can tell, I can feel the frame latency a little bit. I mean, it's still around 60. It's like just around 60 though. Indoors. That means when we go outside, it's going to be like 40 FPS. So, yeah. Unfortunately, it does look a lot better though with the higher graphic settings. Like the floor, everything just looks better. Let's crank this back up to 4K. Actually, yeah, no, let's go all the way up. That's it. I'm going 4K. I don't care. 4K. Let's go. Oh, now I gotta fix the window, though. Max it out. Max it out. I don't care. Max it out. We have the VRAM. We have the technology. Global illumination. Everything maxed out. Come on, you can do it. Alright, here we go. UE5. Now, I am asking too much of this GPU. 8060S is not meant to do this, but okay, I just wanted to see, like, what is the upper bound? What is the worst case? 4K, 4K. Actually, this isn't even 4K. Hold on. Crank it up, 100%. Here we go, full power. Strix Halo. Yeah. This is why the gamers don't like Unreal Engine 5. Now, granted, this isn't fair, because we're using what is supposed to be a laptop GPU, an integrated laptop GPU, to play an Unreal Engine 5 game that is quite demanding at native 4K resolution. This is native 4K, borderless windowed, everything maxed out. Okay, could I play the game? Could I speedrun the game like this? Absolutely not. This would give me a headache after 5 minutes of playing. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I mean, it looks better than it would if it was on a PS4, though. It doesn't run that good, but look at that. Alright, let's see if we can make this playable. At 4K, we gotta use Everybody's favorite technology, upscaling. Drop this down to as low as it'll go, 40%, 40%. What do we got? Oh, look at that console-like experience. PS4 Pro, here we come.
The heroes are erupting one after another. Each time one of them does, the moon grows brighter. What'll become of the world if they all detonate? It's hard not to worry.
Alright. We might play more of this weekend, I don't know. 30 FPS console experience, that cinematic, I should say. Cinematic experience, 30 FPS. 40% render resolution. Max settings. So anyway, let's go back to make this playable. I think I just gotta do like... This actually doesn't really do a whole lot. Anti-aliasing needs to be low. We don't even need that much anti-aliasing. Shadows need to be medium. Texture needs to be medium. Textures can be high. Effects, whatever. Material, depth of field, medium. Global illumination needs to drop all the way to medium. And yeah, let's try mix settings. Well, it did claw back like 15 FPS. %. Medium? Medium, just put everything medium, I guess. Leave anti-aliasing low. That seems like it didn't even do anything. Still like this. That's pretty impressive though when you think about it, like 85 watts on a mobile APU. Unreal Engine 5. I think global illumination is what's turning on lumen. This game is using lumen. Right here. This is the lumen setting, so if I set this to low... I noticed low, it looks really bad though. See? Like if I turn off lumen... The game, look at the corridors. The halls and stuff look way too dark. The game really needs lumen. You lose all your lighting. It just looks awful. It looks like I'm playing Resident Evil or some weird, like a completely different game where the hallways are just completely unlit. Look at this. Without global illumination. Like this lamp from the ceiling, it almost has like a Resident Evil 1 like Resident Evil 1 / Bloodborne style look. Without the lumen. You really need lumen on here. Medium turns on lumen. See, look at that, look at that. Immediately lumen. Ray traced global illumination comes in and does its thing, and it just illuminates the game environment. Materials, lighting, you have everything here. Look at that. You can see the food and stuff. In a still environment like this, where there's like nothing, there's no one, it's like almost 60 even. So I can claw back the performance by just changing shadows, I guess, to low. Ah, shadows at low makes the difference. Okay. Still, something about the draw distance or something like just looks really bad there. Yeah, this is one of those games that I probably do need to test it on another type of GPU that's more like a mid-range, like an actual desktop GPU. I'm tempted to try this game on my gaming laptop with the RTX 5080 laptop GPU and see how the game runs at like 1440p on that laptop. The RTX 5080 laptop GPU is basically the equivalent to a desktop RTX 5060 or maybe 5060 Ti in terms of the performance. Except the 5080 laptop has 16 gigs of VRAM, so in some ways it's better. So I don't know, we're still in like the 50s here. So yeah, this is not a game that I'm really gonna play on this platform. But it shows you how UE5, yeah, it has capability. It has the ability, it has potential to look good, but boy, does it require some really, really beefy hardware to get the full experience. But the average gamer, man, the average gamer just kind of like suffers. That's why Unreal Engine, anytime I've seen so many like Steam reviews just bombing games. They review bomb the game. Any not just this game, any game that has Unreal Engine 5, just because people don't have the best hardware. The average gamer has like a mid-range, like a 60 class GPU, and this is like a 60 class mobile GPU, and this is basically what you're able to get. So, and they're not happy about having to turn on like DLSS for every single thing now, even just to reach playable frame rates at 1080p. So anyway, guys, that was a look at Unreal Engine 5 Code Vein 2 on a Strix Halo. So you have no access to FSR4, and it's unfortunate, but this is basically how the game runs on a mobile device. Not too bad, but it's, you know, it's typical UE5. Alright, that's going to be it for this stream. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow on Tech Thursdays. Until then, take care, and I'll see you then. Thanks.